Chapter 2881, No Need for So Much Nonsense. Jin Lei, a great Dao realm expert, never imagined that after countless years, no one would come to rescue him. His fate was sealed, irreversible, and for the last glimmer of hope, he could only grit his teeth and endure. Here, it was quiet and lonely. If he hadn't fallen, he could comprehend the great Dao, and it wouldn't matter how many years passed. But now, all his power was used to deal with the extraterrestrial god. Year after year, the pressure he endured grew, and under such circumstances, many would go mad. As time flowed, the secret finally revealed itself to the world. Someone came, bringing a sliver of hope. But after hope came even greater disappointment. Jin Lei learned from the intruders about the changes in the outside world and what the origin continent had become, turning hope into despair. He knew no one would come to help him. The persistence of countless years collapsed, and cracks appeared in his Dao heart, leading to an uncontrollable breakdown. When a person collapses, they seek any means to survive, even a great Dao realm being is no exception. Its instinct. Jin Lei finally found a possibility. If someone could kill the extraterrestrial god, he could also receive the great Dao reward. Through the great Dao reward, he could reincarnate. With his great Dao realm strength, reincarnating would mean losing this life's memories, but he could find ways to store them. Perhaps, at some point, he could regain those memories and return to the great Dao. Though he grasped a sliver of hope, it remained slim. Sometimes, seeing hope but never attaining it is more despairing than seeing no hope at all. Jin Lei was like this, seeing a sliver of hope but never attaining it, leading to his continuous breakdown. More people came later, still unable to bring hope. Until now, when he came. The hope Jin Lei saw suddenly appeared vividly before him. As long as he reached the Dao Sovereign Ninth Realm, he could completely kill the extraterrestrial god. Even if he couldn't reach it, he could take the news outside. Perhaps a powerful Dao Sovereign who comprehended the illusory great Dao could come and kill the extraterrestrial god. But who would have thought that he could do it now, killing the extraterrestrial god just like that? Happiness came too suddenly, but after seeing his treasures, talents, spells, and great Dao, greed arose in Jin Lei's heart. So he changed his original plan. He wanted to possess. Using the great Dao reward, he restored part of his former strength. Blinded by greed, he underestimated himself and made a wrong decision. If he had restored his strength and attacked in the real world, he would have been defenseless. But he entered his soul world, giving him a chance to fight back. In the battle, Jin Lei was restrained at every step, unable to gain any advantage. A great Dao realm being unable to handle a small heavenly sovereign made Jin Lei's belief nearly collapse. Later, Jin Lei was further stimulated, and the pressure accumulated over countless years exploded all at once. His Dao heart collapsed, driving him mad and irrational. Lin Moyu reviewed the entire battle, finally understanding the true reason for Jin Lei's madness, a dignified great Dao realm being. The collapse of the Dao heart was the result of long years of accumulation. After repeated disappointments, his heart was riddled with holes. And his final push, repeatedly stimulating him, led to his collapse. Whether it was the 2 origin spells in his soul world, the world tree, the 10-color dragon soul crystal, or the 18 Dao patterns in his soul, they were all factors. But the real last straw was the gate of hell in the bone hell. Looking back, Jin Lei's expression of disbelief mixed with fear upon seeing the gate of hell was intriguing. Until the end, during his final moment of clarity, he kept shouting, "This is impossible." Those 4 words became his last obsession. After reviewing, Lin Moyu realized that his bone hell seemed unusual. As a great Dao realm expert, Jin Lei, an ancient being, surely knew many things. The gate of hell had such a severe impact on him, which was not a trivial matter. The gate of hell contains great secrets. What really happened in that great war back then? Did the origin continent change from 9 continents to 4, and the divine continent cauldron was lost because of that great war? Lin Moyu unraveled the threads, seeking answers. Ultimately, he found that his strength and realm were insufficient to touch that level. Even if he knew, there was nothing he could do. In the end, it's still about strength. Lin Moyu sighed lightly, discarding thoughts he shouldn't have. Now, the Dao patterns in his soul were all successfully condensed, a total of 18 Dao patterns shining brightly. He could step into the Dao Sovereign realm at any time. A gentle breeze blew, carrying moisture, very soft. Lin Moyu felt the aura of the origin continent, knowing he had returned from the secret vault. Opening his eyes, he saw the 4 Dao sovereigns of the Zhang family standing not far away. Their auras were surging, with their backs to him, seemingly protecting him. In the distance, someone was confronting them. Demon race. Facing the Zhang family Dao sovereigns were 6 demon Dao sovereigns. Among them, 4 were at the Dao sovereign first realm, and 2 were at the second realm. The 6 demon Dao sovereigns looked similar, from the same lineage. Lin Moyu had seen information on the demon race and knew they belonged to the silver-striped snake rabbit clan. Thinking back, when the Thunder Vault first appeared, the 5 Dao sovereigns he killed were from the silver-striped snake rabbit clan. At the time, he killed them casually, not caring who they were. Lin Moyu knew he had left the secret vault during his review. The Zhang family Dao sovereigns indeed acted as his protectors. Lin Moyu stepped forward. "Thank you, fellow Daoists, for protecting me." He didn't call them seniors, as he was still a peak heavenly sovereign, but becoming a Dao sovereign was just a thought away, so calling them fellow Daoists wasn't inappropriate. Even if he called them seniors, the 4 from the Zhang family probably wouldn't dare accept it. "Daoist friend is awake," Zhang Ruobei immediately said, seeming relieved at Lin Moyu's awakening. He knew Lin Moyu's strength. As long as Lin Moyu was awake, dealing with the demon Dao sovereigns shouldn't be difficult. Lin Moyu nodded slightly. "What do they want?" Zhang Ruobei said, "They sensed their kin's death, so they came." The demon race has many secret techniques to sense their kin's death, which isn't surprising. At this moment, a Dao sovereign at the second realm from the silver-striped snake rabbit clan shouted, "Did you kill our kin?" Lin Moyu answered directly, "I killed them." As he spoke, he lightly pointed his finger. Space twisted, and the bone hell instantly appeared, enveloping the 6 silver-striped snake rabbit Dao sovereigns. They never expected Lin Moyu to act so swiftly, and by the time they reacted, it was too late. The eye of hell swept over them, and they screamed in unison as lava surged, engulfing them. In the river of lava, the hellish fiends were already eagerly waiting. In the blink of an eye, the 6 were gone, becoming nourishment for the bone hell. Lin Moyu casually said, "No need for so much nonsense." Chapter 2882, 2882. Chapter 2882, If he becomes a Dao sovereign, send a gift. Lin Moyu killed with a swift and decisive action, not giving the demon race any chance to react. Not only the demon race but even the 4 Dao sovereigns of the Zhang family were taken aback, and the battle was already over. The 4 looked at each other, wondering when killing a Dao sovereign became so easy. After all, a Dao sovereign isn't easy to kill, possessing the great Dao, various spells, secret techniques, and numerous treasures. In their understanding, to kill a Dao sovereign, one must have overwhelming strength, or at least 2 or 3 of the same realm must team up. If a Dao sovereign is determined to escape, it's even harder to kill them. However, Lin Moyu, a peak heavenly sovereign, killed Dao sovereigns as if it were as easy as slicing vegetables. Lin Moyu took out 4 high-quality thunder sword grass. "Thank you for your protection. These 4 thunder sword grass are a token of my gratitude, please accept them." The 4 looked at the thunder sword grass in Lin Moyu's hand and couldn't help but breathe slightly. The quality of thunder sword grass varies greatly, and the ones in Lin Moyu's hand were top grade, much better than what they had collected. Zhang Ruobei instinctively said, "This is too precious." Lin Moyu replied, "It's only right. I had a brief encounter with Miss Zhang Ruozu. Please convey a message for me when you return, that I will visit the Zhang family after I finish my current business." After speaking, Lin Moyu handed the thunder sword grass to Zhang Ruobei and took out the origin shuttle. Just as he was about to leave, Lin Moyu suddenly turned and said, "By the way, there will be no more Thunder Vault in the future, you should leave quickly in case more demons come." The origin shuttle turned into a stream of light and disappeared into the distance. The 4 looked at each other, feeling a bit unreal. Suddenly someone asked, "What's that Taoist friend's name?" Another shook his head, "I don't know, he never said." "Let's ask Ruozu when we get back, she should know." "Do you think he's coming to the Zhang family because of Ruozu?" Zhang Ruobei said, "Whatever the reason, we should head back first. If more demons come, it will be troublesome." The 4 discussed for a while, then took out a flying boat and left, disappearing without a trace. A city that once stood there had become a ruin due to the Thunder Vault. Now the land was barren, and even the Thunder Vault was gone. The world evolves, filled with countless surprises, and no one can predict them. The origin shuttle sped towards Yudao City, where Lin Moyu planned to become a Dao sovereign. He could become a Dao sovereign now, but doing so would cause a fluctuation in fortune. A Dao sovereign connects with the great Dao, which bestows fortune, and if he becomes a Dao sovereign in Yudao City, the city will benefit. If someone else became a Dao sovereign, the benefits might not be as significant. But Lin Moyu knew he was different, bearing 6 great Daos and possessing 18 Dao patterns, unprecedented. The commotion caused by his becoming a Dao sovereign would be enormous, and Yudao City would benefit greatly. In fact, with the connection of fortune, Yudao City had already benefited a lot. As Lin Moyu's fortune grew stronger, so did Yudao City's, subtly influencing the cultivators within. The Thunder Vault was quite far from Yudao City, and the Origin shuttle took over 10 days to reach it. During those days, Lin Moyu continued to refine his foundation and pondered how to allocate the 18 Dao patterns. Which spells to fuse with the Dao patterns, and how many patterns to fuse with each spell. This required careful consideration. Each spell could fuse with more than one Dao pattern, and the more patterns fused, the stronger the spell. Lin Moyu had many spells, so he needed to study this carefully. The information from the God-slaying sect did mention this, but not in detail, only vaguely suggesting maintaining balance. Maintaining balance had many meanings, and how to achieve it needed Lin Moyu's own research. Lin Moyu spent these days pondering this issue, speculating on various possibilities. Using the feeling from the first and second Dao patterns as a basis, he might find the correct method. However, Lin Moyu also considered that even if his choice wasn't entirely correct, it wouldn't matter. In the future, there would be plenty of opportunities. With each advancement in the Dao sovereign realm, the number of Dao patterns would increase, providing chances for correction. After all, he had many Dao patterns, offering more opportunities for correction, unlike those with only one. In the mall, the voice of the 3 ancestors slowly rose. The Thunder Vault has disappeared. Lu Lian's voice followed. Yes, it's gone, and the extraterrestrial god inside was killed. The 3 ancestors said, I didn't expect the kid to actually do it. Lu Lian said, when I sold him the secret vault information, I already analyzed that the most likely vault he would go to was the Thunder Vault. I didn't expect him to actually eliminate the extraterrestrial god inside, which exceeded my expectations. Lu Lian had analyzed that the Thunder Vault was the most likely destination for Lin Moyu. But she hadn't predicted that Lin Moyu could kill the extraterrestrial god. In her information, no matter what means Lin Moyu used, it seemed impossible to kill the extraterrestrial god. Clearly, Lin Moyu had hidden methods. The 3 ancestors chuckled. This kid always creates miracles. I wonder where that old fellow Jin Lei went. Perhaps he's reincarnated. 3 Star Lords have already reincarnated, and if Jin Lei joins them, things will get interesting. I wonder if anyone will follow the Dao to reincarnation. The Origin continent has been silent for so long, can the Dao fire be rekindled? Lu Lian said, perhaps it can. The 3 ancestors said, I didn't believe it before, but with this kid, maybe it really can. Where is he now? Lu Lian said, he left the Thunder Vault, killed some demon Dao sovereigns, and has now left. He's probably returning to his faction to advance to Dao sovereign. The 3 ancestors pondered for a moment. His progress is faster than I thought. If he becomes a Dao sovereign, we should send a gift and take a look at his faction. Lu Lian nodded. Any specific requirements? The 3 ancestors said, do as you see fit. The Origin shuttle flew over vast wastelands, and after the Eastern Spirit Empire's last action, it seemed to have restrained itself. Along the way, Lin Moyu indeed found many Dao sovereign-level spirit beasts, mostly at the 1st and 2nd realms, with some at the 4th realm. However, they were all peaceful, and none came to provoke Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu returned to Yudao City without incident. He didn't enter the city directly, instead returning to his small house. The part of the Origin spirit vein polluted by the hell fragments seemed to have strengthened during this time. It wasn't that it had strengthened, but the Origin spirit vein had. As the master of the Origin spirit vein, Lin Moyu could clearly feel that Yudao City's Origin spirit vein had increased by at least 30%. A 7th level Origin spirit vein doesn't easily improve, and with its master absent, its improvement was undoubtedly due to Xiao San. The human emperor's voice sounded in his ear, welcome back to the world. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. Human Emperor, tell me about any interesting events during this time. Chapter 2883. 2883. Chapter 2883. merging the wisdom heart pearl, human emperor ascends. In fact, the human emperor would regularly report to Lin Moyu about the happenings in Yudao City. Lin Moyu would usually just wave his hand, letting the human emperor handle things on his own. Since he decided to be a hands-off manager, he did it thoroughly. This time, since Lin Moyu took the initiative to ask, the human emperor immediately informed him of everything that had happened recently. In truth, there weren't any major events. Everything in Yudao City was going smoothly. The scale of Yudao City had expanded several times compared to before. The population living in the city exceeded 1 million. A city with a population of over 1 million can be considered a medium-sized city. The human emperor continuously adjusted strategies to have more people born in Yudao City, essentially being born on the origin continent. This way, they are recognized by the origin continent from birth, and their potential is stronger. The number of heavenly sovereigns in Yudao City had also increased. There were now 30 heavenly sovereigns. The earliest ones like Hao Tianzun were advancing towards high-level heavenly sovereigns. Ji Yu Qingshan was also about to break through to heavenly sovereign, having Lin Moyu's favor and being influenced by his fortune. Her cultivation speed was faster. But what surprised Lin Moyu the most was Xiao Wu, the laziest one, who was the first to break through to high-level heavenly sovereign in Yudao City. Even the human emperor found it strange how Xiao Wu could cultivate so quickly when she hardly trained at all. Despite not training much, her realm unknowingly improved, with each day of training equivalent to several months for others. Lin Moyu knew the reason. If anyone in Yudao City was closest to him, it was Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu was transformed into a being by him personally, like his own daughter. As his fortune increased, Xiao Wu also benefited. Moreover, Xiao Wu comprehended the luck Great Tao, allowing her to fully utilize every bit of its power, naturally speeding up her cultivation. If there was anything notable in Yudao City, it was that Lin Feng left. Yudao City expanded its range according to Lin Moyu's preset plan. Although the population kept growing, the territory was ample for their activities and cultivation. If someone wanted to leave, as long as they met the conditions, the human emperor wouldn't stop them. During this time, apart from Lin Feng, no one else chose to leave. Yudao City had the origin spirit vein, which was a tremendous aid to cultivation, unmatched by other resources. Due to Ji Yu Qingshan's relationship, Lin Feng was under special observation by the human emperor. Lin Feng had sought out Ji Yu Qingshan several times, expressing his intentions but was always rejected. Eventually, Lin Feng left, his whereabouts unknown. According to the human emperor, Lin Feng seemed to harbor some resentment towards Ji Yu Qingshan due to unrequited love. Lin Moyu didn't care about this. Lin Feng was like a clown to him, irrelevant whether present or absent. Overall, Yudao City was peaceful, with no surprises. Lin Moyu suddenly looked into the distance and smiled slightly. Lei Guang is coming, I'll go greet him. He sensed Lei Guang approaching rapidly and went to meet him. Before leaving, he had asked Lei Guang to look after Yudao City, and Lei Guang had kept his word, always watching over the city. Sensing Lin Moyu's aura, Lei Guang came over. Lin Moyu met Lei Guang outside the city and smiled. Thank you, brother Lei Guang, for watching over Yudao City. Lei Guang replied, no need to be so polite. It's good that you've returned safely. Lin Moyu smiled, I acquired some thunder sword grass this time. I wonder if brother Lei Guang can use it. Lei Guang's eyes lit up. Yes, high-grade thunder sword grass is rare. Lin Moyu took out several thunder sword grass, which contained the power of the thunder great Tao, useful as material and as food for thunder-type spirit beasts. The thunder sword grass Lin Moyu had was of high quality, comparable to materials above Tao Sovereign 7th Realm. These thunder swords were valuable and could be exchanged for many origin crystals, but Lin Moyu preferred to give them to Lei Guang. Sometimes, friendships like Lei Guang's are priceless. Lin Moyu gave Lei Guang 10 thunder sword grass, which he accepted without hesitation. His straightforward nature meant no unnecessary formalities. He still had some left, both high quality and ordinary. The rest could be stored in the warehouse. After chatting with Lei Guang for a while, Lei Guang returned to his place. With Lin Moyu back, there was nothing more for him to do. After returning, Lin Moyu said to the human emperor, I'm preparing to advance to Tao Sovereign, and it might cause quite a commotion. So I plan to help you merge with the Wisdom Heart Pearl first, to enhance your strength and have someone to rely on. Merging with the Wisdom Heart Pearl might temporarily make you lose control over Yudao City and the entire Great World. Do you need to prepare anything? The human emperor replied, "All right, I'll inform Hao Tianzun and the others to manage Yudao City for now. As for the Great World, it's already on track, I'll just make an announcement." The human emperor acted quickly, settling everything in just a few minutes. He had long held the wisdom heart pearl and was eager to merge with it. In his past life as the human emperor under Shao Zontian, he had always had an innate desire for power. Even when merging with technological treasures, this instinct remained. Lin Moyu sensed the human emperor's subtle emotions and smiled slightly. "Then let's begin." The power of the origin spirit vein was invoked. The 7th level origin spirit vein's power was immense, and now it was about 30% stronger than when Lin Moyu left. All thanks to Shao San, the little master. Terrifying origin power gathered in Lin Moyu's hand and was injected into the wisdom heart pearl. Using the origin power, Lin Moyu firmly controlled the wisdom heart pearl. The wisdom heart pearl was too powerful, and even with Lin Moyu's strength, it wasn't easy to control. To control the wisdom heart pearl, one needed at least Dao Sovereign 4th realm strength. But with the origin spirit vein, control was not an issue. The power of the origin spirit vein continuously flowed in, and the wisdom heart pearl began to glow, activating. Simultaneously, a powerful aura emerged, forming an energy whirlwind that swept across the land. This high-level technological treasure began to reveal its formidable side. Lin Moyu knew its core function wasn't activated, it was like a powerful shell needing a soul. And that soul was the human emperor. After a while, the wisdom heart pearl's activation exceeded 70%, and Lin Moyu shouted, "Go in." The human emperor had been ready for a long time, instantly leaving the technological treasure he was previously in and entering the wisdom heart pearl. Lin Moyu's thoughts moved slightly, and the luck great Dao appeared. It fell like a waterfall onto the wisdom heart pearl and the human emperor. He enhanced the human emperor's luck, allowing a smoother merger with the wisdom heart pearl. As the human emperor entered the wisdom heart pearl, his consciousness in the great world fell silent. In Yudao City, many cultivators looked up, feeling as if the human emperor had left, and many showed signs of panic. They were accustomed to a world with the human emperor, and without him, something felt missing. At this time, Hao Tianzun and others appeared in the sky. "Stay calm, the human emperor is ascending and will return soon." Chapter 2884, 2884. Chapter 2884, The Powerful Human Emperor, Mechanical Legion. In Yudao City, Xiaoyu lifted her little head. "I can feel Master's aura, Master is back." Lin Moyu's activation of the origin spirit vein was sensed by Xiaoyu. Shao San also came out, standing on Xiaoyu's head, looking into the distance, sensing Lin Moyu's return. The direction they looked was where Lin Moyu was. Beside them, Xiaoyu said listlessly, "Yes, Master is back, but he's not coming to see me, so I won't go to him either." "Bad Master, smelly Master, gone for so long without coming to see us." Xiaoyu pouted, angrily complaining about Lin Moyu. Xiaoyu laughed and defended Lin Moyu. "Master must have something important. I guess this time the human emperor's ascension is related to Master." The human emperor chose to ascend right when Lin Moyu returned, certainly related to him. Xiaoyu suddenly jumped up, looking incredulously in Lin Moyu's direction. "The luck great Dao, Master has learned the luck great Dao too." Xiaoyu and Shao San were both shocked. Shao San knew what the luck great Dao was, an illusory great Dao not easily comprehended. Besides Xiaoyu, it hadn't seen anyone else comprehend it. Through interacting with Xiaoyu, it learned that Xiaoyu comprehended it through various opportunities, not something others could replicate. But Lin Moyu was different. If he could comprehend the luck great Dao, it was indeed a terrifying thing. In its ancient bloodline memory, those who could comprehend the luck great Dao had terrifying future achievements. Xiaoyu, no longer a naive child, also understood what the luck great Dao meant. Xiaoyu clenched her fists, smiling brightly. "Master is amazing." "Wow!" Xiaoyu suddenly cried out, tears streaming down her face. Xiaoyu asked curiously, "Master comprehended the luck great Dao, why are you crying?" Xiaoyu cried, "Master learned the luck great Dao, so he doesn't need Xiaoyu anymore. Xiaoyu will be abandoned." Shao San silently turned its head, feeling that Xiaoyu's thought process was a bit peculiar, unable to keep up. Xiaoyu was both amused and helpless. "Miss, Master isn't like that." She comforted Xiaoyu, becoming her big sister in that moment. The wisdom heart pearl flickered with light, the glow pulsing with a peculiar rhythm. Lin Moyu seemed to hear an electronic startup sound, then sensed an aura belonging to the Space Great Tao. The Wisdom Heart Pearl contained the Space Great Tao, indicating its internal space might be vast. Lin Moyu had seen the human emperor's true form, which was very large. The Wisdom Heart Pearl was small but had far stronger functions than the human emperor's true form, utilizing the Space Great Tao to create a vast internal space. Lin Moyu didn't explore inside, he only needed to assist, leaving the rest to the human emperor. He trusted the human emperor, the great being who had protected the human race in the great world for countless years. Lin Moyu always held deep respect for the human emperor. The Wisdom Heart Pearl vibrated continuously, absorbing a large amount of origin power, which Lin Moyu supplied freely, giving as much as needed. Some of this origin power was for the Wisdom Heart Pearl, and some for the human emperor. The entire process lasted 3 days, and the Wisdom Heart Pearl's vibration finally calmed. Lin Moyu could feel that the human emperor had firmly established himself within the Wisdom Heart Pearl, adapting to this new technological treasure. During this time, Lin Moyu never stopped supplying origin power, diligently assisting. After another 3 days, the Wisdom Heart Pearl suddenly stopped vibrating, and all light disappeared. Immediately, an aura rose from the Wisdom Heart Pearl. A figure appeared in view, resembling Xiao Zontian, identical to the statue outside the War God Temple in the Great World. This was a body the human emperor had evolved with great power, with the Wisdom Heart Pearl located in the heart. Lin Moyu sensed the human emperor's immense power, also from a great Tao, but he didn't recognize it. Judging by the aura, the human emperor's power was not weaker than the Tao Sovereign Sixth Realm. The Wisdom Heart Pearl was so powerful that it directly gave the human emperor power equivalent to the Tao Sovereign Sixth Realm. Lin Moyu asked, "How does it feel?" The human emperor grinned, "Feels great, the Wisdom Heart Pearl is too strong. My power should be equivalent to the Tao Sovereign Sixth Realm." Lin Moyu nodded, "That's about right. Can you use the true form of the Great Tao?" The human emperor shook his head, "Not yet, but I will be able to." "How so?" Lin Moyu raised an eyebrow, not understanding. The human emperor said, "After merging with the Wisdom Heart Pearl, I can comprehend a special Great Tao, the technology Great Tao. The technology Great Tao is different from other Great Taos, requiring special materials to unleash its full power. The true form of the Great Tao is the same, needing other materials." Lin Moyu said, "List the materials you need, and I'll see if I can get them." At the Tao Sovereign Sixth Realm, having the true form of the Great Tao makes a world of difference in combat power. Lin Moyu didn't understand the technology Great Tao, but hearing about it sparked a thought. In his previous life, the world was a brilliant technological civilization, with various weapons prevalent. Though those technological weapons seemed insignificant now, if related to the Great Tao, their power might be different from memory. The origin continent is magical in a normal cultivation system, technological treasures shouldn't exist, like those from the celestial sect. But they appeared, seemingly with some rationale. In fact, there are many traces of technology. The human warships in the Great World contain some technological elements. Of course, that's due to the human emperor's influence. The human emperor quickly listed the materials and handed them to Lin Moyu. "There's a lot of information in the Wisdom Heart Pearl that I haven't organized yet. But from what I've seen, it seems possible to create a mechanical legion through the technology Great Tao." Lin Moyu was slightly startled and immediately asked, "What level of mechanical legion?" Lin Moyu had seen mechanical legions, having fought them in the Sea of Worlds. At that time, the mechanical puppets wielded glowing swords and had considerable combat power. After coming to the origin continent, he acquired information and knew many artificers were researching this. However, the combat power of mechanical puppets was generally weak, with no Tao Sovereign level puppets, limiting their practicality. If the human emperor's mechanical legion had real power, the human emperor said, "The strongest seems to reach the Tao Sovereign Third Realm, but the requirements are quite demanding. I need to study it further." Lin Moyu was delighted if they could reach the Tao Sovereign Third Realm and be mass-produced, Yu Dao City's safety would be assured. Chapter 2885, 2885. Chapter 2885, Merging Tao Patterns. Lin Moyu looked at the list compiled by the human emperor. The items were strange, and he didn't recognize most of them as they weren't typical cultivation materials. "I don't know if I can find them. After I advance to Tao Sovereign, I'll ask at the Lu Feng Merchant Association." Lin Moyu put the list away. If anyone could find these odd items, it would be the Lufeng Merchant Association. This matter wasn't urgent. Advancing to Dao Sovereign was more important for Lin Moyu now. The human emperor had successfully ascended, transforming magnificently. From now on, the half-step supreme human emperor was gone, replaced by a Dao Sovereign sixth realm human emperor. The leap was unimaginable. This is the strength of technological treasures. As long as the treasure itself is strong enough, cultivation can be skipped. After a few days, the human emperor returned to manage the great world in Yudao City. With the human emperor's current power, only a small portion was needed to easily complete the management tasks. Most of the time, he could organize data and analyze information. Analyzing information was the main task, extracting hidden truths from vast data, which consumed a lot of power and time. Lin Moyu entered the secret chamber, sitting cross-legged, speaking to himself, "Now it's my turn." Achieving Dao Sovereign, the great Dao descends. I wonder what kind of commotion it will cause. After cultivating for so long, the moment of achieving Dao Sovereign was finally here, and he couldn't help but feel excited. Calming his mind, Moyu's spirit sank into his soul world. 18 Dao patterns, 2 of which already had owners. Once Dao patterns are merged, they cannot be separated, so his choice was crucial. On the way back, Lin Moyu had already considered which spells to merge the Dao patterns with. He decided to merge them with his summoning spells. Summon Skeleton General, Summon Dragon Rider Legion, Summon Skeleton King, Summon Elemental, and Resurrection of the Dead. Although Summon Skeleton King already had a Dao pattern, it was innate and unrelated to his Dao patterns. Lin Moyu didn't think merging his Dao patterns would disrupt the balance. He believed that after advancing to Dao Sovereign, the other summoning spells would also naturally generate Dao patterns, achieving balance again. These spells formed a multi-star spell system, inherently interconnected and powerful. Dao patterns contain the power of the Great Dao, enhancing the power of spells when merged. This is the role of Dao patterns. The higher the Dao Sovereign's realm, the more Dao patterns they have. If multiple Dao patterns are given to one spell, its power can multiply. However, the God-slaying sect's information stated that balance must be maintained, and spells of the same type should have equal Dao patterns. So, he couldn't give all the Dao patterns to one spell. Lin Moyu heeded this advice, knowing there was a reason behind it. For the 5 summoning spells, Lin Moyu planned to merge 2 Dao patterns with each. Although Summon Skeleton King would have 1 extra Dao pattern, after advancing to Dao Sovereign, the other summoning spells might also gain 1. If not, he could adjust when he condensed new Dao patterns in the future. This is the advantage of having many Dao patterns. The more there are, the more flexibility there is. Having decided, Lin Moyu didn't hesitate and acted immediately. 10 Dao patterns flew out simultaneously, heading towards the 5 spell stars. The Dao patterns landed on the spell stars, successfully merging. Each spell star gained 2 Dao pattern imprints, except Summon Skeleton King, which had 3. However, the naturally generated Dao pattern differed significantly from the 2 Lin Moyu sent. Lin Moyu felt that the naturally generated Dao pattern seemed more powerful. The 2 sent Dao patterns appeared to revolve around it as the core. After imprinting the Dao patterns, Lin Moyu sensed changes in the spell stars. Dao essence appeared on the spell stars. The Dao patterns carried the power of the Great Dao, enhancing the spell stars. They've become stronger, but my realm limits the spell stars. It seems that when I break through to Dao Sovereign, a qualitative change will occur. Lin Moyu understood, carefully sensing that the 5 summoning spell stars remained balanced. The Dao patterns returned to his soul, having changed. Each represented the star they merged with, differing in appearance. The only constant was their connection, still amplifying each other. Casting spells through Dao patterns allowed for the amplification of power through resonance in the multi-star spell system. Lin Moyu felt that when he became a Dao Sovereign, the combat power of the Undead Legion would surely surprise him. 12 Dao patterns had owners, leaving 6. 18 Dao patterns seem like a lot, but when used, they don't feel enough. Lin Moyu sighed softly. A spell could merge multiple Dao patterns, but how many was unknown. While the summoning spell stars maintained balance, some spell stars didn't, like Wings of the Undead and Bone Hell. Bone Hell had already ascended, so powerful that it defied explanation, its true strength left to Lin Moyu to feel. Lin Moyu threw 2 Dao patterns into it. Bone Hell hummed, magma boiling, the patterns on the Hell Gate glowing faintly, becoming clearer but not more numerous. The rotation speed of the nether black pool increased slightly, with a faint rumbling as if something dangerous was about to emerge. Beyond that, there was no reaction. 2 Dao patterns flew back from bone hell, also changed in shape. Lin Moyu slapped his forehead. Did I think wrong? Bone hell is already too strong. 2 Dao patterns aren't enough to change it. But since I've started, I might as well finish, otherwise, these 2 Dao patterns would be wasted. Lin Moyu initially planned to give Dao patterns to summoning spells in bone hell. If he distributed each Dao pattern evenly among all spells, each would gain a little, but not much. Better to give the Dao patterns to the most important spells, perhaps this would be more effective. After some thought, Lin Moyu decided to give 16 Dao patterns to summoning spells in bone hell. These 2 spells were his main attack methods. The remaining 4 Dao patterns flew out, merging into bone hell. 6 Dao patterns shone on bone hell's spell star. This seemed to be enough to trigger a qualitative change. The patterns on the hell gate became clearer, the glow brighter, and under the halo, the hell gate grew more eerie. The rotation speed of the nether black pool increased significantly, with the rumbling intensifying. A strong, dark aura constantly emanated from the nether black pool, and with a loud boom, a giant black dragon head emerged. Chapter 2886, 2886. Chapter 2886, Breaking Through to Dao Sovereign, Heavenly Phenomena. A black dragon head emerged from the nether black pool. The dragon head was extremely ferocious, roaring continuously, revealing 2 rows of scarlet fangs, and exhaling black gas from its nostrils. This black gas was highly corrosive, capable of corroding everything. Lin Moyu could feel that the corrosive power of the black gas was fundamentally the same as the power of death in the undying Great Tao, as if it originated from the undying Great Tao. A pair of blood-red giant eyes slowly opened, cold, brutal, and merciless. All the information related to hell surged in Lin Moyu's mind. In the past, there was a bottomless pool in hell, known as the Nether Black Pool. In the Nether Black Pool, a terrifying creature called the Nether Black Dragon was nurtured. The Nether Black Dragon could devour everything and had the same characteristics as hellish fiends. It was extremely terrifying and could even devour the Great Tao. Unfortunately, there was very little information about hell, and even less about the Nether Black Dragon. When hell collapsed, the Nether Black Pool also crumbled, and some of the Nether Black gas didn't completely dissipate, falling into the world and eventually evolving into the Nether race. Now, the gate of hell reappeared before him, and the Nether Black Pool appeared again. At the same time, bone hell had absorbed the fragments of hell, and Lin Moyu had a feeling that if his bone hell continued to evolve, it might really bring hell back to the world. When the Great Tao Realm expert Jin Lei saw the gate of hell, he collapsed on the spot. This shows how much the reappearance of hell could shock them. The 6 Tao patterns only made the patterns on the gate of hell brighter and caused the black dragon in the Nether Black Pool to poke its head out, with no other changes. But Lin Moyu was very satisfied. The smaller the change, the greater the potential of bone hell. 6 Dao patterns are not a small number, indicating that bone hell has very high requirements for Dao patterns, showing its profound foundation. 18 Dao patterns seemed like a lot, but they were distributed in the blink of an eye. Lin Moyu took a deep breath. Finally, I will step by step reach the peak, break through to Dao Sovereign. Lin Moyu communicated with the Great Tao, intending to break through the Heavenly Sovereign limit and step into the Dao Sovereign level. Lightning flashed and thunder roared in the sky, and several Great Taos appeared. The Undying Great Tao, the Thousand-Star Great Tao, the Time Great Tao, the Space Great Tao, the Luck Great Tao, and the Strength Great Tao. The 6 Great Taos appeared around him, and Lin Moyu's figure slowly rose, gradually surpassing the Great Taos, with the Great Taos beneath his feet. At this moment, Lin Moyu seemed to transcend the Great Taos, nobler than the Great Taos. Lin Moyu appeared dignified and majestic, exuding an indescribable dignity, not the pressure of a high realm, but the natural dignity of a superior being. Even the Great Taos had to prostrate themselves at Lin Moyu's feet. This situation happened unconsciously, even Lin Moyu himself didn't know. A similar event had occurred in the Great World before. While other law galaxies were above their heads, Lin Moyu's law galaxy was directly under his feet. Up and down, the status and position were completely different. The 6 Great Taos simultaneously spewed a vast amount of Great Tao power, falling on Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's aura rose sharply, soaring upwards, breaking through to the Tao Sovereign level. Before Lin Moyu, several Great Taos appeared again. This is the scene everyone sees when entering the Great Tao realm. From the moment a heavenly sovereign breaks through to Tao sovereign, everyone can closely contact the true Great Tao. The Great Taos they usually summon are just projections, far from the true Great Tao. This is an opportunity to closely contact and comprehend the Great Tao. This process is very precious, and if a cultivator can comprehend something from it, it is a great fortune, greatly aiding their future. The time one can stay in this state varies, depending on each person's talent and aptitude. Some can stay for several years, even 20 or 30 years, freely comprehending the Great Tao. Others can only stay for a year, or even less. The difference is huge, but for Lin Moyu, 6 Great Taos were before him. The 6 Great Taos circled around, allowing him to choose which to comprehend. Lin Moyu didn't know how long he could stay in this state, so he didn't dare waste a moment and immediately began to comprehend the Great Tao. He first chose the Luck Great Tao, as illusory Great Taos are the hardest to comprehend and must be first. However, the Strength Great Tao is an exception, it's an anomaly that doesn't need comprehension. As his realm and physical body improve, the Strength Great Tao naturally improves. The Strength Great Tao is difficult at the beginning and end but easy in the middle. Lin Moyu comprehended the mysteries of the Luck Great Tao, completely unaware of the passage of time. As Lin Moyu broke through, the sky within a radius of 10,000 miles suddenly darkened, and even the light of the sun couldn't penetrate. A heavy pressure descended from the sky, the power of the Great Tao pouring down like a waterfall, washing over the earth, rushing in all directions like a river. On the ground, the origin spirit vein surged with a large amount of origin power, continuously supplying Lin Moyu, providing strong support for his breakthrough. The heavenly phenomena were endless, immediately attracting the attention of everyone in Yudao City. Workers stopped, cultivators sensed something and stopped cultivating, looking in Lin Moyu's direction. They could feel an extremely terrifying pressure sweeping in from tens of thousands of miles away. Some flew high into the sky, looking into the distance, seeing a space shrouded in darkness. What's happening there? What a terrifying pressure, I feel there's an incredibly powerful presence there. Not only is the pressure terrifying, but the phenomena are also frightening. I feel that the power leaking from there could crush me. Someone boldly suggested, should we go take a look? Could it be a threat to Yudao City? At this moment, the human emperor's voice suddenly sounded, the city lord is breaking through to Tao sovereign, no need to panic. With the human emperor's words, everyone immediately calmed down. Lin Moyu was a legend in Yudao City. This legend began in the great world and has continued to this day. Especially since Lin Moyu had once personally set up the formation protecting Yudao City. Yudao City was also established by Lin Moyu alone. Everything told everyone that Lin Moyu held supreme authority here, and he was everyone's idol. Now, this legendary figure was finally breaking through to Tao sovereign. Lin Moyu's breakthrough and the human emperor's words seemed to ignite the cultivation desire in countless people. Many instinctively thought, I want to cultivate, I want to become a Tao sovereign too. In the distance, Lei Guang also sensed Lin Moyu's breakthrough. It turned into a flash of lightning, leaving its nest and flying towards Yudao City. Its thought was simple, Lin Moyu was breaking through, and it wanted to protect him. A Tao sovereign's breakthrough must not be disturbed. It knew very well that in Yudao City, Lin Moyu was the strongest. If the strongest was disturbed during a breakthrough, it wouldn't be good. Further away, a warship noticed the anomaly in Yudao City and quickly flew towards it. Chapter 2887, 2687. Chapter 2887. The demon race attacks, competing for the origin spirit vein. Lei Guang arrived outside Yudao City, watching from afar. He didn't enter, staying outside to protect Lin Moyu. The human emperor was fully aware of Lei Guang's arrival. Now that his strength was formidable, his perception of the outside world was very clear, and the range he could control had greatly increased. He was still organizing information, not only the data given by Lin Moyu but also the vast amount of data within the Wisdom Heart Pearl. The information in the Wisdom Heart Pearl was also extensive, enough to keep the human emperor busy for a while. As for the information given by Lin Moyu, it had been organized before, but now it needed to be resorted to ensure nothing was missed. The human emperor was also protecting Lin Moyu, and now that Lei Guang was here, he could relax and focus more on organizing the data. Day by day passed, and the phenomenon continued without any sign of weakening. No one knew how long the entire process would last. The human emperor and Lei Guang both understood that with Lin Moyu's talent and aptitude, the entire process could last for decades. 12 days later, an aura flew in from afar. It stopped 60,000 kilometers from Yudao City. Advancing another 10,000 kilometers would enter the attack range of the Heavenly Thunder Fire Array. Lei Guang was startled awake, opening his eyes to see the approaching warship. Demon race, Lei Guang murmured. During the Eastern Spirit Empire's operations, he had dealt with the demon race many times and recognized the warship as belonging to them at a glance. The warship gleamed, runes flowing over it, with formations protecting it. Lei Guang sensed the aura emanating from the warship, lightning flashing in his eyes, becoming vigilant. He felt that there seemed to be a presence above the Dao Sovereign Fourth Realm on the warship. A Dao Sovereign Fourth Realm wasn't strong for him, but combined with the warship, it was another story. The warship was an extremely powerful treasure, possessing strong combat capabilities. If someone above the Dao Sovereign Fourth Realm controlled it, the combat power it could unleash would be terrifying. It might not defeat him, but it could withstand his attacks for a while. The sound of battle at the Dao Sovereign level was immense, likely affecting Lin Moyu. The demon warship sensed the presence of the Heavenly Thunder Fire Array, so it didn't charge in. Suddenly, the formations on the warship activated, gathering power, ready to attack at any moment. Lei Guang's gaze sharpened, and he transformed into lightning, rushing towards the warship. He initially thought of luring the warship to a distant place to fight, but that seemed impossible now. The demon Dao Sovereign on the warship also noticed Lei Guang, and a demon Dao Sovereign rushed out. As soon as the demon Dao Sovereign emerged, they transformed into their true form, unleashing terrifying power. Dragon Elephant Clan, Dao Sovereign Fifth Realm. Lei Guang recognized the identity at a glance. It was from the Dragon Elephant Clan of the demon race. The Dragon Elephant Clan was said to possess a trace of dragon blood, giving them some dragon characteristics. The Dragon Elephant Clan had extremely strong defense. Although their attack was average, they could easily block attacks of the same realm. Even for him, killing a Dao Sovereign Fifth Realm Dragon Elephant Clan member was troublesome. During the Eastern Spirit Empire's operations, he had fought the Dragon Elephant Clan. The Dragon Elephant Clan expert at that time was a Dao Sovereign Fourth Realm, and he had to exert great effort to kill them. Now, this Dragon Elephant Clan member had Dao Sovereign Fifth Realm cultivation, making it even harder to kill. Lei Guang was a bit troubled. This Dragon Elephant Clan member was enough to hold him for a while. The Dragon Elephant Clan Dao Sovereign immediately transformed into their true form, and a sky full of killing intent surged over. Kill. Without any nonsense, the Dao Sovereign of the Elephant Clan had already attacked. In the void, 5 dragon elephants appeared, each over 10,000 meters tall, gigantic and covering the sky. The Dragon Elephant Clan wasn't just trying to entangle Lei Guang, they were fighting to the death. Lei Guang was puzzled. Why were they so desperate? Knowing they weren't his match, why fight so hard? Lei Guang was blocked by the Dragon Elephant Dao Sovereign, unable to break through. The warship's power was fully gathered, and an attack was launched. The attack was strong, reaching the Dao Sovereign Fourth Realm, and it was uncertain if the Heavenly Thunder Fire Array could withstand it. Lei Guang wanted to rush over, but the Dragon Elephant Clan Dao Sovereign held him firmly. At this moment, in front of the Heavenly Thunder Fire Array, a figure appeared. The human emperor appeared before the Heavenly Thunder Fire Array, waving a hand to easily disperse the attack. Then the Heavenly Thunder Fire Array behind the human emperor roared to life, and in an instant, countless thunderbolts struck the demon warship. The thunder was mixed with countless flames, heavenly thunder flames, falling densely on the warship. The demon race seemed confident in their warship, not dodging, taking the attack head-on. The Heavenly Thunder Fire Array was a 6th-level formation and part of a formation group, powerful enough to kill a Dao Sovereign Third Realm and injure a Dao Sovereign Fourth Realm. The key was that it was integrated with the Origin Spirit Vein, its power seemingly endless, making it hard to break. No matter how strong the demon warship was, if continuously attacked, it would eventually be unable to withstand it. The warship withstood the attack while counterattacking. But its counterattacks were all blocked by the human emperor. The human emperor now possessed power stronger than a Dao Sovereign Fifth Realm but weaker than a Dao Sovereign Sixth Realm, easily blocking the warship's attacks. Amidst the frenzied attack, the Origin Spirit Vein continuously provided power to the Heavenly Thunder Fire Array, its aura also exposed. There's an Origin Spirit Vein, and it's a high-level one. Increase the attack, seize the Origin Spirit Vein. A commanding voice sounded from the warship. The demon race also coveted the Origin Spirit Vein, and once discovered, they would certainly try to seize it. This origin spirit vein was as high as the 7th level, and once discovered, they would naturally try to seize it. The warship buzzed, and more demon Dao sovereigns flew out, attacking the human emperor. This time, 3 Dao sovereigns attacked, all from the Dragon Elephant clan, with 1 at the Dao sovereign 5th realm and 2 at the 4th realm. They spread out in the air, with the Dao sovereign 5th realm Dragon Elephant attacking the human emperor, while the other 2 prepared to attack the formation from both sides. The warship also flew to another side, enduring the formation's attack. Entangled on all sides, 3 paths were simultaneously breaking through. Seeing this, Lei Guang exploded with countless thunderbolts, trying to repel the Dragon Elephant Dao sovereign in front of him to support. Lei Guang used his true form, transforming into a 1,000-meter giant eagle, with thunder filling the sky. But the Dragon Elephant clan's defense was too strong. Though injured by the thunder, they didn't retreat. Lei Guang was anxious, but suddenly the human emperor's voice sounded in his ear. "No need to worry, it's fine." The human emperor's voice was calming, and Lei Guang's anxious heart suddenly settled. The human emperor waved a hand, and 2 figures appeared beside him. Zhao Dongsheng and the giant sword Dao sovereign appeared, and the human emperor ordered them, "Kill them as quickly as possible." Them, referred to by the human emperor were the 2 Dao sovereign 4th realm Dragon Elephant Dao sovereigns. With Zhao Dongsheng and the giant sword Dao sovereign's strength, killing Dao sovereign 4th realm Dragon Elephant Dao sovereigns wasn't difficult, just a bit of effort. If they didn't care about the cost, it would be even faster. As resurrected ones, would they fear paying a price? Zhao Dongsheng summoned the myriad spirit Great Dao, transforming into a giant elephant, charging at his target. The giant sword Dao sovereign transformed into a giant sword, slashing like lightning. The human emperor operated the heavenly thunder fire array, entangling with the warship while also engaging the enemy Dao sovereign. Chapter 2888, 2888. Chapter 2888. Currently no way, just have to wait. The thunder exploded, and Lei Guang's power erupted wildly as he fought with reckless abandon. The Dragon Elephant Dao sovereign fighting desperately against him was forced to retreat, with injuries deepening constantly. But for some reason, the Dragon Elephant Dao sovereign was filled with killing intent, wanting to kill Lei Guang despite being outmatched. Lei Guang found this strange but didn't care. He also wanted to kill him. Moments later, 2 cries of pain rang out. Zhao Dongsheng and the giant sword Dao sovereign had severely injured their opponents. The 2 Dragon Elephant clan Dao sovereigns quickly retreated, rushing back to their warship. The warship also began to retreat rapidly, seemingly trying to leave the battlefield. The Dao sovereign fighting the human emperor also pulled back at this moment, paying the price of being injured by the human emperor to escape back to the warship. Retreat. With an angry shout, the warship started, flying into the distance. The Dragon Elephant Dao sovereign fighting Lei Guang clearly didn't want to leave, but a beam of light from the warship hit him, forcibly taking him away. Lei Guang snorted coldly, "Think you can just leave? It's not that easy." He unleashed powerful lightning, transforming into a sea of thunder, enveloping the warship. The warship glowed all over, activating all its formations at once. The warship was strong, inheriting the Dragon Elephant clan's powerful defense, moving rapidly through the sea of thunder. Lei Guang chased after it, but suddenly, a Dragon Elephant clan Dao sovereign appeared on the warship. Seeing this, Lei Guang felt a sense of danger and abruptly stopped, watching as the warship broke through his sea of thunder and flew into the distance. The Dragon Elephant clan came aggressively, fought, and left in disgrace, gaining nothing. Several Dragon Elephant clan Dao sovereigns were injured to varying degrees, making them seem somewhat embarrassed. Lei Guang sighed, "The Dragon Elephant clan's defense is too strong. I couldn't even keep one." The human emperor said, "It's normal not to keep them. Dragon Elephant clan Dao sovereigns aren't easy to kill." Lei Guang was puzzled. Why was that Dragon Elephant so desperate? "It's really strange." The human emperor explained, "It's not strange. You must have killed someone from the Dragon Elephant clan. Their bloodline has the ability to identify who has killed their kind." Lei Guang's expression cleared, "So that's it. Some spirit beasts among us have similar abilities." The human emperor asked, "Why did you suddenly stop? Did you see something?" Lei Guang replied, "There was a Dao sovereign 6th realm on their warship." The human emperor nodded, "No wonder you stopped. A Dao sovereign 6th realm Dragon Elephant Dao sovereign is indeed hard to deal with." Lei Guang was still confused, but why didn't the Dao sovereign 6th realm act? The human emperor patiently explained, there must be some problem, otherwise, they would have acted. Also, the dragon elephant clan's visit this time doesn't seem to be targeting us, they must have other tasks. This time they didn't, but next time, who knows? Lei Guang frowned, what if they come again? The human emperor shook his head, there's no good solution right now, just take it one step at a time. If the realm lord can successfully become a Dao sovereign, we won't have to worry if they come again. Lei Guang said, with Brother Lin's talent, breaking through to Dao sovereign might take decades or even 100 years. A lot can happen in that time. The human emperor said, if something unexpected happens, it doesn't matter as long as a Dao sovereign's 7th realm doesn't come, it's not a problem. Lin Moyu had already left some contingencies, though some weren't easy to use. For example, the thunder light purple striped tiger he left behind also had the combat power of a Dao sovereign's 6th realm. But if it acted in front of the demon race, how would you explain it? If word got out that humans had turned the Thunderlight Purple Striped Tiger into a puppet and enslaved it, it wouldn't be long before the Thunderlight Purple Striped Tiger's entire clan would come to attack. Fighting is fine, but it can't be overdone. Every race has its limits. The human emperor, organizing a vast amount of information, naturally knew this, so only Zhao Dongsheng and the giant sword Dao sovereign acted this time. The human emperor also didn't intend to keep them all and kill them. That could also bring trouble. The demon race has their own ways of communicating, and they might have already sent a message before dying, bringing endless trouble. So the best way was to drive them away and then wait for Lin Moyu to successfully break through. The arrival of the Dragon Elephant clan was like an interlude, causing no ripples. Lin Moyu continued to maintain close contact with the Great Dao, comprehending it. He touched the Luck Great Dao, and a large amount of insight flooded his mind, which he quickly digested. Until the Luck Great Dao no longer provided insight, Lin Moyu knew he had reached the limit, so he moved on to another. The second Great Dao was the Time Great Dao, equally difficult to comprehend as it lies between illusion and reality, so Lin Moyu placed it second. The third Great Dao was the Space Great Dao, followed by his Life Great Dao, the Undying Great Dao. Originally, Lin Moyu planned to put the Undying Great Dao fifth, as it was his Life Great Dao and the easiest to comprehend, so it could be left for later. But considering the 1000-star Great Dao's cultivation method, which seemed unrelated to comprehension, he moved the Undying Great Dao to fourth. Of the 6 Great Daos, 4 needed comprehension, while the other 2 required different cultivation methods. Time passed day by day, and in the blink of an eye, 20 years had gone by. Lin Moyu's comprehension of the Great Dao was swift, and after 20 years, he began comprehending the Space Great Dao. Throughout the 20 years, the phenomenon persisted, but no one came to disturb him. Yudao City's location was relatively remote, with few passers-by. Lei Guang remained motionless for those 20 years, always guarding outside. He ate thunder sword grass, which was very useful to him, and in just 20 years, his aura improved significantly. In the 30th year, Lin Moyu began comprehending the Undying Great Dao. At this time, space slightly distorted, and an invisible aura descended. This aura hid within space, remaining motionless after arriving, unnoticed by Lei Guang and the human emperor. In the 40th year, Lin Moyu finally finished comprehending the 4 Great Daos. The time he spent in contact with the Great Dao was more than expected, allowing him to fully comprehend 4 Great Daos, which was already excellent. At least his foundation at the Dao Sovereign First Realm was solid, even allowing him to challenge the Dao Sovereign Second Realm. Those who couldn't fully comprehend a Great Dao would have to slowly do so after becoming a Dao Sovereign, wasting much time. Breaking through from Heavenly Sovereign to Dao Sovereign is an opportunity for cultivators, depending on how much they can grasp. Lin Moyu immersed his consciousness in the 1000-star Great Dao, which required strength, not comprehension. The 1000-star Great Dao lit up with a faint light, guiding Lin Moyu. He entered a mysterious space, seeing countless stars. Each star represented a Star Lord position. The 1000-star Great Dao's cultivation method was to activate these stars, allowing them to return to their positions, restoring and strengthening the 1000-star Great Dao. Activating the stars required immense power. Chapter 2889, 2889. Chapter 2889. Then let's fight, even if it means death. Activating the stars within the 1000-star Great Dao requires immense power. The stars within the Great Dao have different attributes, requiring varying amounts of power. But there are 2 types of power that are universal. One is the power of the Great Tao, like the power that descends during a Great Tao reward, which is pure and without attributes. The other is Lin Moyu's soul power. Soul power, like the power of the Great Tao, lacks attributes, but the downside is that soul power is not as pure, and its strength is insufficient, with a limited total amount. Even the soul power of a Tao sovereign is limited and recovers slowly. Reviving a star requires a massive amount of soul power. Understanding this, Lin Moyu was overjoyed. While others' soul power isn't pure, his is extremely pure. Through the dual refinement of the 10-color dragon soul crystal in the world tree, his soul power has reached the utmost purity. It may not be as pure as the power of the Great Tao, but compared to other Tao sovereigns, it's far superior. Next is the total amount of soul power. As long as he controls the consumption rate, he doesn't need to worry about running out of soul power, especially with 10 great backers. Lin Moyu chose a star, one that wasn't too powerful, and injected his soul power into it. He didn't choose a too powerful star initially to increase the success rate and reduce the risk of failure. The soul power smoothly injected into the star, and this star, dormant for who knows how long, began to shine again. The light was faint, but as Lin Moyu continued to inject soul power, it was reviving. In the great Tao stars above the origin continent, in a previously empty space, a star suddenly appeared, beginning to pulse with light, and the power of the Star Lord began to spread outward. Among the great Taos, someone slowly opened their eyes. The Star Lord within the 1,000-star Great Tao is finally beginning to revive. Looking forward to it, the return of the Star Lord, I wonder if a new Tao Master will be born. Hopefully, a Tao Master will be born. Looking forward to that day. The reappearance of the 1,000-star Great Tao, does it mean they will come again? Perhaps, it's been so long, it would be normal for them to return. Prepare, another great battle is coming. Outside Yudao City, Lei Guang, digesting Thunder Sword grass, suddenly opened his eyes and looked into the distance. A warship was approaching Yudao City, and even before it arrived, its powerful aura had already swept over. Lei Guang murmured, "The Dragon Elephant Clan, they're coming again." The human emperor also appeared beside Lei Guang, along with the giant sword Tao Sovereign and Zhao Dongsheng. The human emperor glanced at the warship. Our previous guess was correct, they indeed have other tasks to complete. The warship was damaged in many places, and its power had significantly weakened compared to last time. Previously, the warship could match the Heavenly Thunder Fire Array, but this time it might not be so easy. But the Dragon Elephant Clan's warship was never the main force. The true main force was the Dragon Elephant Clan Tao sovereigns within the warship. The warship stopped in the distance, not coming closer, indicating that the warship wouldn't participate in this battle. Powerful auras rose as Dragon Elephant Clan Tao sovereigns flew out of the warship. There were 4 Tao sovereigns in total, 1 at the 4th realm and 2 at the 5th realm. These 3 were familiar faces, having fought before. Another, who hadn't acted last time, had a Tao sovereign 6th realm cultivation. Lei Guang squinted, they all seem to be injured. The human emperor nodded, indeed, they're all injured, and there's one less. The Tao sovereign they fought before, the 4th realm one, wasn't there. Judging by their injuries and the warship's damage, that Tao sovereign likely fell. Clearly, whatever they went to do wasn't safe. The human emperor said, "Can you handle the Tao sovereign 6th realm?" Lei Guang agreed without hesitation, "Even if I can't kill him, he won't kill me either." Lei Guang was confident in his strength. The Dragon Elephant Clan had strong defense but average attack power. If he entangled with them, they couldn't do anything to him. The human emperor said, "All right, you take him, and I'll take the other 3. Once I kill them, I'll come help you." Lei Guang nodded, "No problem." They discussed, but strangely, the Dragon Elephant Clan Tao sovereigns didn't attack. The 6th realm Dragon Elephant Tao sovereign looked at the human emperor, "Are you the master here?" He didn't attack but chose to speak, making the human emperor feel something was off. The human emperor said softly, "Speak if you have something to say." The Dragon Elephant Tao sovereign's voice was still low, "We need to borrow your origin spirit vein." The human emperor immediately realized their intention. They wanted to use the origin spirit vein to heal. It seemed their injuries were more severe than they appeared. They might have soul injuries otherwise, mere physical injuries wouldn't matter. Failing to seize the origin spirit vein last time, they now wanted to borrow it, but the human emperor flatly refused, "Impossible, there's no room for discussion." The Dragon Elephant Tao sovereign continued, "Think about it again, we don't want to fight." The human emperor said, "If you want to fight, Go ahead, the origin spirit vein won't be lent. The dragon elephant Dao sovereigns looked conflicted. Suddenly, a voice came from the warship, no need for words, he's not the owner of the origin spirit vein. A terrifying aura rose, and intense pressure came forward. Lei Guang's face changed, Dao sovereign 7th realm. The lightning on his body was affected by the pressure, retreating. The gap between the Dao sovereign 6th and 7th realms was vast. This was a crushing power, hard to resist. With the terrifying pressure, a dragon elephant clan member flew from the warship. He was severely injured, missing a leg and an arm. His physical injuries couldn't heal, indicating his true injuries were soul-related, with the physical wounds just an external manifestation. The human emperor finally understood why they hadn't acted initially. First, they were injured and unwilling to fight. Second, they feared mutual destruction, triggering the origin spirit vein. They wanted to use the origin spirit vein to heal but feared its detonation, so they spoke nicely. But when the Dao sovereign 7th realm realized the human emperor wasn't the owner, their attitude changed. Only the owner could detonate the origin spirit vein, which the human emperor couldn't do. This was realistic and normal on the origin continent. If Lin Moyu were here, they would first kill him, not giving him the chance to detonate the origin spirit vein. Lei Guang gritted his teeth. What do we do? The human emperor said, we have to fight hard, see how long we can hold out, and not let them affect the realm lord. They're heavily injured, and their soul injuries mean we don't know how much power they have left. The human emperor prepared to use all the contingencies Lin Moyu had set, including several Dao sovereign 6th realm resurrected ones. They could hold out for a while, regardless of the consequences, which he couldn't consider now. He could only hope their injuries were severe enough to delay until Lin Moyu completed his breakthrough. Lei Guang's eyes sharpened. Then let's fight, even if it means death. He was ready to die in battle. The dragon elephant clan Dao sovereigns, auras grew stronger, ready to act. Especially the Dao sovereign 7th realm, whose pressure was suffocating Lei Guang, even warping space. Just as they were about to act, a sudden wind blew from afar, incredibly fast, silently passing over the dragon elephant clan Dao sovereigns. Chapter 2890, 2890. Chapter 2890, True Form of the Great Tao, Master of Life and Death. The sudden wind came without warning, silently, and none of the dragon elephant clan Dao sovereigns, including the 7th realm ancestor, could react. Just as they were about to act, they suddenly froze in place, unable to move. The pressure that had just risen quickly dissipated, vanishing in an instant. Lei Guang and the human emperor, who were ready to fight to the death, were puzzled. Lei Guang murmured, what happened? The human emperor shook his head, I don't know. Lei Guang said, that wind seemed strange. The human emperor also sensed the sudden wind but couldn't see through it at all. He couldn't even tell if it was an ordinary wind or something more. Then Lei Guang's eyes narrowed in shock. In their view, the bodies of the dragon elephant clan Dao sovereigns began to crumble. Their powerful bodies turned into countless specks of dust, quickly disintegrating and scattering in all directions. Regardless of their realm, the outcome was the same. Then, in the distance, the warship also turned to dust. The entire process was eerie, silent, without a sound. The powerful 7th realm Dao sovereign, known for their defense, along with their warship, perished just like that. Any treasures they had also vanished with the wind. Lei Guang's eyes were filled with shock and horror. What on earth happened? The human emperor looked around. It seems someone is helping us. Lei Guang asked, who could have such power? The human emperor couldn't think of anyone who could silently kill Dao sovereigns, a feat even those with the power of Dao sovereigns couldn't achieve. Moreover, this mysterious entity was helping them from the shadows. The human emperor knew the help wasn't for them but for Lin Moyu. Only Lin Moyu might know such an entity, while they couldn't. After searching around and finding no trace, the human emperor knew the entity didn't want to be seen. Without even saying a word of thanks, he turned to Lei Guang, whoever it is, they don't mean us harm. Lei Guang nodded, that's true. If they wanted to harm us, we couldn't stop them. The human emperor said, since that's the case, let's focus on our own tasks. They each returned to their positions, Lei Guang continued guarding outside, and the human emperor returned to the formation. Inside the 1,000-star Great Tao, Lin Moyu had already revived a star. 10 stars meant 10 Star Lord positions, comparable to the Great Tao realm. With the thousand-star Great Tao, once a Star Lord position merges with the Great Tao, even the weakest Star Lord can rival those who took the wrong path in the Great Tao realm. To Lin Moyu, each star he revived wasn't particularly strong, but each took a long time. 10 stars took an average of 5 years each, totaling 50 years. With each star revived, Lin Moyu's understanding of the thousand-star Great Tao deepened, and his control over it increased. Currently, he was the only one on the origin continent who comprehended the thousand-star Great Tao. He had almost become the de facto master of the thousand-star Great Tao, with no one competing for the Tao master position. After reviving 10 stars, Lin Moyu felt he had reached his current limit. With his current strength, he couldn't revive the more powerful stars and could only revive the less powerful ones. He also felt that deeper within, there might be even more powerful stars he hadn't discovered. His power was still far from enough. 6 Great Taos, 5 comprehended to the limit, the strength Great Tao requires no comprehension. I can feel my power has reached its limit, unable to suppress it any longer. I must break through. Lin Moyu felt he had indeed reached his limit, with his Great Taos urging him to break through. Having comprehended all he could, there was no reason to delay. With a smile, Lin Moyu thought, since that's the case, let's break through. There's more to do afterward. With a thought, 90 years of comprehension merged into one, exploding forth. The bottleneck between Heavenly Sovereign and Tao Sovereign shattered like fragile glass. Lin Moyu's aura instantly broke through the Heavenly Sovereign realm, reaching a higher level. His aura soared into the sky, resonating with the great Tao stars beyond the origin continent. Waves of great Tao power poured down like waterfalls, as if congratulating Lin Moyu on breaking through to Tao Sovereign. The great Tao power flooded into Lin Moyu's body, making him feel increasingly powerful. 18 Tao patterns shone brightly, continuously absorbing the great Tao power. Tao patterns not only grow stronger with quantity but also with realm advancement. With 18 Tao patterns, the higher Lin Moyu's realm, the greater the gap with others. He felt an even closer connection with the great Tao, able to mobilize more great Tao power. The great Tao power was endless, and while at the Heavenly Sovereign realm, he couldn't mobilize much. However, since he comprehended the primordial great Tao, his power was still formidable. Even without using Bone Hell and other spells, his combat power was unrivaled in the same realm. Using those spells, crossing realms in battle was as easy as drinking water. Upon entering the Tao Sovereign realm, Lin Moyu's ability to mobilize great Tao power increased tenfold. With a thought, the undying great Tao appeared beneath him, gray and white power surged forth, transforming Lin Moyu into a giant of gray and white. Gray signified death, killing all, corroding all, taking all life. White represented vitality, granting life to all beings, reviving the dead with ease. Lin Moyu mastered life and death, controlling all life and death. If he wanted you to die, you would die. If he wanted you to live, you couldn't die. This wondrous feeling surged within Lin Moyu's soul world. With excitement, he exclaimed, "True form of the great Tao." He never imagined he could use the true form of the great Tao at the Tao Sovereign First Realm. The true form of the great Tao is the biggest difference between Tao Sovereign Fourth and Third Realms. Once the true form of the great Tao is used, combat power increases significantly. The combat power of a Tao Sovereign Fourth Realm far surpasses that of a Third Realm due to the true form of the great Tao. Lin Moyu knew he had created another miracle. Sensing his true form of the great Tao, he murmured, "Though I can use the true form of the great Tao, it seems to lack a foundation. My path differs from the cultivators on the origin continent. Their true form of the great Tao requires no foundation, but mine does." In that era, most cultivators used Tao patterns to support the true form of the great Tao, but some with limited Tao patterns used powerful soul treasures. But no treasure is better than self-condensed Tao patterns. Tao patterns can grow in number and strength with realm advancement, while soul treasures generally can't. For me, the best choice is to use Tao patterns to support the true form of the great Tao. Chapter 2891, 2891. Chapter 2891, Sublimation, 7th Level Great World. Lin Moyu had already advanced to Tao Sovereign, but he hadn't exited that wondrous state of advancement, with the great Tao still clearly visible by his side. In this state, comprehending the great Tao is extremely fast. However, Lin Moyu didn't focus on comprehending the great Tao, as he had already comprehended a lot before and hadn't fully digested and integrated it. But such a good opportunity wouldn't be wasted either. Lin Moyu used the power of the Great Tao to start condensing Tao patterns. The 19th Tao pattern. The 6 Great Taos exerted their power simultaneously, and a vast amount of Great Tao power surged like waves, helping Lin Moyu condense the Tao pattern. The outline of a Tao pattern quickly formed. With the help of the Great Tao power, the 19th Tao pattern formed at an astonishing speed. Lin Moyu estimated that the 19th Tao pattern would take about a year to fully condense. A year isn't short, and it's naturally much slower than the speed during the Great Tao reward. But Lin Moyu knew it was much faster than if he were condensing Tao patterns on his own. After all, it took him 1,000 days to condense the 6th Tao pattern, and now being able to do it in a year for the 19th is very ideal. Lin Moyu focused, continuously gathering Great Tao power to fully condense the Tao pattern. He wasn't sure how long this wondrous state of advancement would last, so he couldn't waste any time. A year later, the 19th Tao pattern finally formed. Without any delay, Lin Moyu began condensing the 20th Tao pattern. This time, the speed decreased again, taking twice as long. 2 years later, the 20th Tao pattern was also successfully condensed, followed by the 21st. Lin Moyu was surprised when the time didn't double again. The 21st Tao pattern took 3 years, followed by the 22nd, which took 4 years. Condensing 4 Tao patterns took 10 years. At this point, Lin Moyu still hadn't exited this wondrous state, having been in it for 100 years. 100 years had long broken the record on the origin continent. The previous record for maintaining this wondrous state during Tao's sovereign advancement on the origin continent was only 43 years, not even reaching 50. Lin Moyu had surpassed 100 years, more than doubling it. Continuing to condense the 23rd Tao pattern, this time it took 5 years. Lin Moyu didn't know how long it would take to condense a Tao pattern under normal circumstances, so he couldn't miss this opportunity. 5 years later, the 23rd Tao pattern was successfully condensed, and he continued with the 24th without pause. Normally, having entered the Tao sovereign first realm with a foundation of 18 Tao patterns, each realm advancement would allow the Tao patterns to double. At the Tao sovereign first realm, he could condense 18 more Tao patterns, bringing the total to 36. The deeper the foundation, the greater the gap would become, eventually becoming incomparable. Lin Moyu's foundation was so strong it was despairing. For over 100 years, the area around Lin Moyu, spanning 10,000 kilometers, was shrouded in phenomena. The people of Yudao City went from initial shock to becoming accustomed, eventually seeing it as a part of the scenery. At this time, Yudao City had accumulated a lot of basic information about the origin continent, including cultivation information. Of course, this cultivation information was gradually opened, with each person only knowing information up to 2 levels above their own realm. The human emperor strictly kept this information confidential, ensuring that people only knew what was appropriate for their level. Regarding the phenomena during Tao sovereign advancement, everyone in Yudao City understood. They knew that the longer the phenomena lasted, the stronger their city lord would be. The stronger their city lord, the safer they would be, and the more benefits they would receive. Under the human emperor's continuous education and promotion, everyone in Yudao City knew they were all in the same boat. Since they came from the great world, they had to stick together. Outside the heavenly thunder fire array, Lei Guang watched the phenomena with shock. Brother Lin has been at it for over 100 years, why hasn't the advancement ended? The human emperor appeared beside him. The realm lord's potential is limitless, with an unprecedentedly solid foundation. Lei Guang said, indeed, when I advanced to Tao sovereign, it only lasted 20-something years, 27 or 28, I don't remember. Compared to Brother Lin, I'm far behind. The human emperor said, over 20 years is already considered excellent. The best recorded among humans is only 40-something years. Lei Guang sighed, I've seen Brother Lin's abilities. No matter what happens to him in the future, I won't be surprised. The human emperor shook his head gently, indeed, no need to be surprised. Having reviewed countless records, the human emperor believed no one could compare to Lin Moyu. Even the most brilliant geniuses in history paled in comparison to Lin Moyu. In the 111th year of Lin Moyu's advancement, the 24th Tao pattern was successfully condensed. At that moment, Lin Moyu's soul heard a loud noise, and the scene before him shattered, the phenomena disappearing instantly. With the disappearance of the phenomena, Lin Moyu's advancement concluded. Lin Moyu's gaze penetrated the secret chamber, seeing the situation outside, and noticed Lei Guang protecting him. His voice reached Lei Guang's ear, Thank you, Brother Lei, for protecting me. I'm fine now. When I come out, let's have a drink. Lei Guang heard Lin Moyu's voice and laughed heartily. Congratulations on breaking through to Dao Sovereign, Brother Lin. I'll be off then, bring the wine when you come. Certainly. Lin Moyu chuckled softly, his consciousness sinking back into his rule world. He appeared before the core of the great world, which was glowing, its light enveloping Lin Moyu as if welcoming him. Although Lin Moyu had integrated the great world into his rule world, it still existed independently, and he hadn't destroyed it. He also hadn't used the great world to advance to Dao Sovereign. Not only did he not destroy the great world, but he also intended to cultivate it. He took out a world gem and tossed it to the great world. The great world was already at the peak of the 6th level, needing just one world gem to advance to the 7th level. Previously, due to his insufficient realm, he hadn't allowed the great world to advance. Now that he had become a Dao Sovereign, he immediately let the great world advance. The world gem quickly fused with the world core, releasing powerful energy that spread throughout the great world. The level of the great world began to rise, advancing from the 6th to the 7th level. The entire world was sublimating, with many stars emerging from the great world. The great world was originally a multi-star world, and advancing from the 6th to the 7th level would at least double the number of stars. The resources within the stars would also increase, making cultivation easier for the beings within the great world. Moreover, the cultivation aptitude of the beings in the great world would improve. Not only newly born beings but every being's aptitude would improve, which is the ability of a high-level world, giving its beings great potential. A 7th-level great world is already enough to accommodate Dao Sovereigns. Now, the strategy of the human emperor and Lin Moyu is to divide the great world and Yudao City into 2 parts, developing together. Many elders remain in the great world, and after its advancement, they also have the opportunity to explore higher realms. Chapter 2892, 2892. Chapter 2892, Antares. The ascension of the great world affects the entire world in various ways. In the past, Lin Moyu might have needed the human emperor to analyze and dissect these changes. But now, at his current level, many things no longer require analysis from the human emperor, he can understand them at a glance. Having reached the Dao Sovereign realm, in many eyes, he has already achieved the Dao and comprehended it. Many things become clear with just one look. The power of the great Dao is magical, allowing one to know everything. Lin Moyu hasn't truly achieved the Dao yet, but he already possesses similar abilities. This is the Dao Sovereign realm, a realm where one truly touches the mysteries of the great Dao. As the master of the great world, Lin Moyu sees things more clearly. The fortune of the great world has changed, greatly increasing, with the fortune great Dao of the origin continent pouring a vast amount of fortune into the great world. The once heavy karma has been severed, and with the blessing of fortune, the great world's origin power has strengthened. Under these conditions, the great world has undergone significant changes. Almost all cultivators in the great world feel that their cultivation has become easier, with signs of breakthroughs in previously stuck realms. Although the great world is still far from the origin continent, it can at least accommodate Dao Sovereigns. If it continues to advance, reaching the 9th level, the great world might one day rival the origin continent. Lin Moyu sensed the entire great world and suddenly furrowed his brows. He sensed a thread of karma. Wasn't the karma of the great world supposed to be severed? Why is there still some? Lin Moyu clearly remembered that the karma of the great world was completely severed at that time. All races that had interacted with the great world, beings from various sea of worlds, had been cleared. Only a few races that had been friendly with humans remained living peacefully in the great world. Even the karma from the black blood great world had been severed. But why? Why is there karma now? A thread of karma was entwined around the great world. Lin Moyu carefully sensed it and discovered that this thread of karma had always existed. It was just that he hadn't noticed it before due to his insufficient realm. With the great world integrated into his rule world, this thread of karma had actually transferred to him. This thread of karma is so hidden. Where does it come from? Could it be that the great world still has unresolved karma? Is it from the black blood great world? The karma great Dao is also an illusory great Dao, and dealing with it requires the power of illusory great Daos. Lin Moyu's fortune roared, and the power great Dao appeared beneath his feet, with the power of karma merging into his blood. Lin Moyu's hand glowed faintly, allowing him to touch illusory items at that moment. He reached out and grabbed the karma thread entwined around the great world, pulling hard, but it didn't budge. Can't pull it. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised and unconsciously increased his strength. But no matter how much force he applied, the karma thread wouldn't move. The karma thread passed through the void of the soul, directly entwining the great world, making it impossible to remove. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and condensed a sword of fortune in his hand. He swung the sword of fortune at the karma thread, but it remained unmoved. There was no sound, no movement. The karma thread didn't change, nor did the sword of fortune. The sword of fortune's characteristic is that if it successfully attacks an enemy, it weakens the enemy's fortune while also weakening itself. Fortune cancels each other out, so it can only strike 3 times. But this time, there was no consumption, indicating no effect. After several attempts, Lin Moyu found it useless and had to give up. Since there's karma, there will eventually be clues. I'm curious about what kind of karma exists on the other end of the soul void. Lin Moyu wasn't worried. The great world is now vastly different, under his control, and anyone who wants to do something must first ask for his permission. Lin Moyu exited the great world and entered the soul world to check his spells. With the advancement to Tao Sovereign, all spells had undergone significant changes. Next, he needed to merge the newly condensed 6 Tao patterns, naturally merging them into the true form of the Great Tao, 6 Great Taos, 6 true forms of the Great Tao, all to be merged into the Tao patterns. Lin Moyu had just entered the soul world and hadn't yet checked the changes in his spells when a deafening voice suddenly sounded in his ear. "Brat, are you done yet?" Lin Moyu shuddered from soul to body, blurting out, "Antares." This voice, this tone, was too familiar. It was indeed Antares. "Antares," voice continued, "Brat, didn't expect you to still remember me." Lin Moyu laughed, "You're the same." Antares chuckled, "Long time no see, you've finally become a Tao Sovereign, faster than I thought." Lin Moyu laughed, "You know my talent. This is already slow for me." Though they hadn't seen each other for years, they spoke with familiarity, with no sense of strangeness. Antares chuckled, "You're still as shameless as ever." Lin Moyu laughed, "From your tone, you seem more stable than before." "Where are you? I'll come find you." Antares, laughter changed, with a hint of cunning, "With your intelligence, you must have guessed it, so why pretend?" Lin Moyu seemed to imagine Antares' expression and laughed, "Seeing isn't always believing, let alone guessing. But now I'm sure, the new emperor of the Eastern Spirit Empire is you." Antares said, "It's me, but you can't come now. I haven't finished my business here." Lin Moyu asked, "How long will it take?" Having not seen Antares for so many years, he truly wanted to see him. Antares said, "Hard to say, the task at hand is troublesome. Do you remember you promised to join me in attacking the dragon race?" Lin Moyu nodded, "I'm ready anytime." Antares said, "You've just become a Tao Sovereign. It's not enough to attack the dragon race. And I want to attack not just the dragon race here. So you need to continue cultivating and raise your realm." Lin Moyu asked, "To what realm?" Antares fell silent for a moment before saying, "At least to a realm where you can contend with the great Tao realm. I see you're on the right path, which is good. You have more opportunities than most. So you don't need to search for my whereabouts. Only a few people in this world know where I am, and they won't tell you. Focus on cultivating, and when I'm done here, I'll come to you." Lin Moyu said, "All right, I'll wait for you. I have something to tell you, and you might be surprised." Antares laughed heartily, "Good, good, I'll see what can surprise me." Antares' voice faded, and Lin Moyu knew he had left. Looking at the 10-color dragon soul crystal lying on the world tree leaves, Lin Moyu murmured, "You'll definitely be surprised." Chapter 2893, 2893. Chapter 2893, Spell Ascension, the Power of the Tao Sovereign Realm. Antares' sudden appearance slightly disrupted Lin Moyu's plans. After Antares left, Lin Moyu habitually pondered Antares' words. First, it was certain that Antares had a grudge against the dragon race, and it wasn't an ordinary grudge. It might involve the dragon race's secrets. Secondly, Antares said he wasn't targeting the dragon race on the origin continent. In this world, besides the dragon race on the origin continent, there are only the dragon race on the great Tao stars. Lin Moyu's memory flashed back to the moment he became the son of the moon, when he was fortunate enough to see the great Tao stars and the various great Taos. Most of the great Taos had living beings. There were humans and demons. On one of the great Daos, there seemed to be the silhouette of the dragon race. At the time, he didn't pay much attention, but now thinking back, it seemed that besides the dragon race, there were also insects on that great Dao. Lin Moyu wasn't clear about the situation within the great Dao. He felt that if his analysis was correct, Antares was referring to the dragon race within the great Dao. And that great Dao had no Dao master. Thinking of this, Lin Moyu wasn't troubled but rather intrigued. Antares wants to enter the great Dao and slaughter the dragons within it. That great Dao has no Dao master, so it seems Antares wants the Dao master position. When Antares had his incident, did it involve a grudge with the dragon race over the Dao master position? Lin Moyu's thoughts quickly expanded, considering many possibilities. But his speculation wasn't unfounded, there was reasoning behind it. And his guesses were often not far off. If that's the case, when I enter the great Dao realm, I'll join you in the fight. No, I don't necessarily need to enter the great Dao realm as long as I have the combat power of the great Dao realm, I'll join you. Lin Moyu knew his situation. Having the combat power of the great Dao realm didn't necessarily require entering the great Dao realm. If he could obtain a great Dao realm corpse now, he might be able to kill many great Dao realm beings. Putting aside unrealistic thoughts, Lin Moyu refocused on his spell stars. With the advancement to Dao Sovereign, apart from a few special ones, the rest of the spell stars became stronger. Among the summoning spells, besides Summon Skeleton King, the other spell stars each gained a new Dao pattern. Now, each of the 5 summoning spell stars had 3 Dao patterns, maintaining balance. Lin Moyu sensed the information of the Summon Skeleton General spell. Summon Skeleton General origin level. The spell star will create a rule world, connecting to the Bloody Bone Great Dao, granting the Skeleton General the blessing of the Bloody Bone Great Dao, allowing it to mobilize the power of the Great Dao for attacks. Maximum number: 100 billion. On the surface, the information about the Skeleton General hadn't changed. But Lin Moyu could feel from the spell star that it had indeed become stronger, the spell star creating a rule world, exuding the aura of the Dao Sovereign Realm. The true extent of its power would only be known upon summoning. With a thought, a brand new Skeleton General appeared before him. The aura of the Dao Sovereign Realm hit him, the Skeleton General exuding a powerful pressure, declaring to the world, I am a Dao Sovereign. Beside it, a bloody Great Dao appeared, identical to the Bloody Bone Great Dao of the Skeleton King. The Bloody Bone Great Dao transformed into a blood mist, enveloping the Skeleton General, forming blood-colored armor. The Skeleton General, shrouded in blood, exuded a hint of savagery. The Bloody Bone Great Dao not only provided the Skeleton General with enhanced attack power but also boosted its defense. This gave the Skeleton General true Great Dao power, enough to contend with Dao sovereigns of the same realm. Lin Moyu received detailed information from the Skeleton General, his heart skipping a beat. With the advancement to Dao Sovereign, the spell of the General had also changed. Skeleton General. Level: Dao Sovereign Second Realm. Great Dao Spell: Bone Blood Sword. The Bone Blood Sword possesses the power of the Bloody Bone Great Dao, capable of dual attacks on the target's body and soul. The Bone Sword Chi was gone, replaced by a Great Dao spell. The Great Dao spell directly mobilizes the power of the Great Dao for attacks, targeting both the body and soul. Physical defenses are relatively easier, but soul defenses are much harder, significantly boosting the Skeleton General's combat power. What surprised Lin Moyu the most was that the Skeleton General's realm had reached the Dao Sovereign Second Realm, completely different from his expectations. Initially, he expected the Skeleton General to be mid-level Dao Sovereign First Realm, not even reaching high level. In the Dao Sovereign Realm, each realm has a significant gap, and although the Skeleton General's realm has always been higher than his own, reaching the Dao Sovereign Second Realm was unexpected. Upon reflection, Lin Moyu felt it was likely due to the enhancement brought by his Dao patterns. 3 Dao patterns enhanced the essence of the spell. Then, the resonance of his 24 Dao patterns greatly amplified their effect, boosting the spell. Thus, the Skeleton General reached the Dao Sovereign Second Realm, once again capable of fighting across realms. Not only did its realm increase, but its number also skyrocketed to 100 billion. From 30 billion to 100 billion, this increase in quantity was terrifying. Lin Moyu even had the impulse to sweep across the entire origin continent with 100 billion Skeleton Generals. Of course, that was just a thought. Having experienced the Thunder Vault, he knew that the gap in realms couldn't be compensated by numbers. Just a few Dao Sovereign 7th Realm beings could decimate his billion-strong army. The higher the realm, the greater the gap. It's said that on the Origin continent, all Dao Sovereign 8th realm cultivators combined aren't enough for a Dao Sovereign 9th realm. At most, they would slow the killing, but ultimately, they would all be killed. In the Dao Sovereign realm, only below the 7th realm is there a possibility of fighting across realms. The higher the realm, the less likely it is to fight across realms. After the 7th realm, each small realm is equivalent to one or even several major realms, making it impossible to fight. In the Soul World, summoning continued without interruption. After Lin Moyu summoned the first skeleton general, the spell linkage was activated, and the summoning never stopped. Lin Moyu continued to check the spell information of the Dragon Rider Legion. Summon Dragon Rider Legion origin level based on the Bloody Bone Great Dao, create a Bloody Bone world for the Dragon Riders to rest. All Dragon Rider Legion members will recover from injuries at the fastest speed in the Bloody Bone world. Maximum number of Dragon Rider Legion, 10,000. The Dragon Rider Legion spell also changed accordingly, the spell star creating a bone world for the Dragon Riders to rest. Though Lin Moyu didn't see much use in this, compared to the Undying Undead, he believed any change wouldn't be useless and would have its place. The number of the Dragon Rider Legion increased to 10,000. If each Legion commander could still command the same number, the total would reach 100 billion. Lin Moyu then focused on the Dragon Rider Legion commanders to check their specific information. Chapter 2894, 2894. Chapter 2894, the ability to fight across boundaries is getting stronger. Seeing the changes in the Dragon Cavalry Legion, Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh, the Dao Sovereign Realm is too powerful. With the blessing of the power of the Great Dao, plus the changes in Dao patterns and spells, it exceeded his imagination. Dragon Cavalry Legion, number of members, *** 10 million. Combat power of members, *** Dao Sovereign 2nd Realm. Combat power of Legion Leader, *** Dao Sovereign 2nd Realm. Legion abilities, *** Great Dao Battle Formation, Bloody Charge, Bloody Breath. Legion Leader abilities, *** Fatal Strike, Resurrection. Great Dao Battle Formation, *** forms a battle formation, empowering with the power of the Great Dao, greatly enhancing the Legion's combat power. It can gather multiple legions. The more legions, the stronger the power. Bloody Charge, *** mobilizes the power of the Great Dao for a charge, increasing speed tenfold during the charge, causing a fierce impact on the enemy. Bloody Breath, *** mobilizes the power of the Great Dao, spewing bloody dragon breath, dealing dual physical and soul damage to enemies within the breath's range. Fatal Strike, *** a unique spell of the Dragon Cavalry Legion leader, using the Bloody Bone Great Dao as a link, gathering all the power of the Legion to deliver a fatal strike. Cooldown time, 1 minute. Resurrection, *** a unique spell of the Dragon Cavalry Legion leader, using undead flames to resurrect members of the Dragon Cavalry Legion. Each member can be resurrected once every 10 minutes. The spells have undergone some changes, each spell is related to the Great Dao. The Dao Sovereign Realm is a realm of cultivating the Great Dao, so naturally, everything is related to the Great Dao. Feeling the changes in the spells, how strong they are still needs to be verified in actual combat. Lin Moyu can only make some estimates for now. The combat power of the Dragon Cavalry is not much different from the Skeleton God Generals, slightly stronger, but the strength is limited, basically at the early stage of the Dao Sovereign 2nd Realm. The combat power of the Dragon Cavalry Legion leader should have reached the medium level of the Dao Sovereign 2nd Realm. However, they have a numerical advantage, and like the Skeleton God Generals, once they make a move, it is impossible to fight one-on-one. Whether it's the Skeleton God Generals or the Dragon Cavalry Legion, they can absolutely sweep through the Dao Sovereign 2nd Realm. Only when facing the Dao Sovereign 4th Realm, there might be some trouble, as from the Dao Sovereign 4th Realm onwards, they have the true body of the Great Dao, greatly increasing combat power. But if combined with spells like the Undying Necromancer, there is no need to fear the Dao Sovereign 4th Realm. An additional 7,000 Dragon Cavalry Legion leaders have been added, consuming a large amount of spirit flowers to awaken their intelligence. Whether they have intelligence or not, the combat power of the Dragon Cavalry Legion is completely different. Fortunately, the World Tree had just digested a piece of the original Spirit Vein remnant, and the spirit flowers have increased significantly, enough to supply them. Looking at the Dragon Cavalry Legion and the Skeleton God Generals, Lin Moyu's attention fell on the Skeleton King. The Skeleton King had already advanced to the Tao Sovereign realm before, and now it is even stronger. The increase in the number of skeleton god generals and dragon cavalry legion greatly enhanced the power of the Skeleton King. Becoming a Tao Sovereign himself, and with the blessing of Tao patterns, also greatly enhanced the power of the Skeleton King. Various enhancements fused together, elevating the Skeleton King's realm to the Tao Sovereign third realm. The Skeleton King remains Lin Moyu's strongest summon, with a realm reaching the Tao Sovereign third realm and a number as high as 3,000. If 3,000 Skeleton Kings were to take the field simultaneously, the combat power of both the direct body and the Undead Legion could be further enhanced. Lin Moyu judged that with just the Undead Legion, he could face the Tao Sovereign fourth realm head-on with his Tao Sovereign first realm body. Not to mention crushing, winning the battle is not a problem. Reaching the Tao Sovereign realm, the ability to fight across boundaries has not weakened but has become stronger. The main reason for this phenomenon is that he has comprehended 6 great Taos, both real and illusory, and has condensed so many Tao patterns with the great Tao. With the blessing of Tao patterns, combat power naturally rises. Continuing to check other spells, the resurrection of the dead has not changed much, only the existence time of the resurrected has increased from 2,000 days to 5,000 days. The resurrected can enter a dormant state at any time, in which time flows very slowly, like self-sealing. In this way, 5,000 days can last a very long time. The number of resurrected that can be owned has also reached 10 billion, but this 10 billion seems a bit illusory, as Lin Moyu has never summoned them all. Where to find so many corpses to summon? It's not that they can't be found, but most are too weak, and summoning a bunch of unqualified cannon fodder is useless. With his current combat power, only resurrected like the giant sword Tao Sovereign of the Tao Sovereign 6th realm are somewhat useful. Other resurrected are basically useless. Lin Moyu has very high standards, almost disregarding anything below the Tao Sovereign 5th realm. Summoning elemental liches has also improved, not in realm but in quantity. The maximum number of elemental liches that can be summoned is now 50, but the problem before Lin Moyu is that there aren't enough suitable materials. He searched for many materials in the mall, some of which were indeed high level but not suitable for summoning elemental liches. Currently, among the elemental liches, only the Buddha country demon is somewhat useful. Upon advancing to the Tao Sovereign, even the Star Arrow Lich was directly eliminated. The evolution of combat power is this realistic. Seeking flowers. However, Lin Moyu still believes that summoning elemental liches will definitely be of great use, just not the right time yet. Lin Moyu continued to check other spells. Besides summoning spells, other spells have improved, but the changes are not significant. Without Tao patterns to bless them, only the changes brought by Lin Moyu's advancement to the Tao Sovereign. The cooldown time of the Undying Necromancer has decreased from 70 seconds to 60 seconds, and the number of resurrections has increased from 7 to 8 times. Thinking carefully, the improvement is actually not small. However, as an auxiliary passive spell, it is not very conspicuous. The damage weakening ability of damage transfer has increased from 7 times to 8 times. This small improvement is also insignificant. At the same level, it is unnecessary, and if the realm is too high, the effect can only be described as unsatisfactory. State immunity ***, physical resistance ***, and elemental resistance *** have not changed. However, Lin Moyu has a feeling that these 3 spells are waiting for an opportunity to undergo a qualitative change. As for when the opportunity will come, he can't say. Then there is another powerful offensive spell, also a very peculiar one, Corpse Explosion. Corpse Explosion has helped Lin Moyu eliminate strong enemies several times, and after reaching the Tao Sovereign realm, its improvement is not much, with its power increasing from 100% to 110% of the corpse, only a slight improvement. Lin Moyu knows that if he wants to enhance it, he needs to provide Tao patterns for it. Wings of the Undead and Time Curse have also improved, but the improvement is still not significant. Wings of the Undead carries the Space Great Tao, and after reaching the Tao Sovereign realm, it requires less soul power, meaning that at the same speed, the consumption is reduced. With the same soul power, the speed increases. The Time Curse is similar, its power increasing with Lin Moyu's realm, without much special change. The remaining spells are Infinite Fusion Power Gathering Strong Soldiers and Bone Hell. These spells have nothing to do with his realm and will not change with the advancement of his realm. After reviewing all the spells, Lin Moyu is already well aware of his abilities. Then he turned his attention to the World Tree. The World Tree is his talent, and during his advancement to the Tao Sovereign, the World Tree has also undergone significant changes. Chapter 2895, 2895. Chapter 2895. Unknowingly created history again. The World Tree is not only an independent entity but also provides strong support for itself. It is precisely because of its existence that I have been able to reach where I am now. The World Tree has become more robust, growing as the rule world grows. After entering the Tao Sovereign realm, Lin Moyu's rule world has expanded significantly, and the World Tree has grown along with it. Its branches and leaves still cover the entire rule world, protecting it. The World Tree has become stronger, with greater power and more robust protection for the rule world. However, it is still in its growth phase and has not yet entered the next stage. This is a good thing, indicating that the World Tree's growth is far from its limit, with great potential to be tapped. Upon inspection, the changes in the World Tree are not particularly significant. The number of rebirths has increased to 8, with a cooldown time still at 20 seconds. But having 8 rebirth chances in 20 seconds is already more than enough. Under normal circumstances, it is impossible to die every 2 seconds. The abilities of the World Fruit have not changed, remaining the same as before. As the World Tree strengthens, the healing ability of the Spirit Flowers has also become more powerful. The Silver Tree sap has already formed a small lake, producing 1,000 drops daily, with excellent effects. Now, a small amount of Silver Tree sap can be given to the Human Emperor as a reward. It can also be supplied to Haoshan Zun and others, changing their talents, accelerating their cultivation speed, and helping them quickly enter the Tao Sovereign realm. In this advancement, the biggest change for the World Tree is its leaves. Under the power of the Great Tao, a few pieces of the world have undergone anomalies. The mutation of the World Tree leaves means they will gradually become spiritual materials. Among the countless leaves of the World Tree, 6 have mutated, corresponding to my 6 Great Taos. The 6 leaves are slowly mutating and will complete their transformation in a few decades, ultimately becoming excellent spiritual materials. Before Lin Moyu could check, he noticed a hint of chaotic aura on the 6 leaves. Good fellow, you've already booked them, huh? Lin Moyu couldn't help but laugh at infinite fusion. This guy has already reserved the 6 mutated leaves and left its mark on them. It was blatantly telling Lin Moyu, these are mine, don't take them. This was clearly a protective measure. If Lin Moyu really wanted to take them, it couldn't do anything, but of course, Lin Moyu wouldn't do that. Infinite fusion has helped me a lot, enduring hardships, and it deserves this. Lin Moyu approached Infinite Fusion, gently touching it. You're very quiet during this advancement. Infinite Fusion spun around, sending out a will, I want to evolve. Lin Moyu immediately asked, can you evolve after eating those 6 leaves? The will of Infinite Fusion came again, Great Tao spiritual materials can evolve. After evolution, it can fuse spells. Lin Moyu quickly understood, the mutated World Tree leaves had become spiritual materials, different from ordinary spiritual materials. Ordinary spiritual materials could strengthen Infinite Fusion but couldn't evolve it. However, the spiritual materials mutated from the World Tree leaves, after absorbing the power of the Great Tao, were called Great Tao spiritual materials. After Infinite Fusion consumed them, it could evolve. After evolving, it could fuse spells. As the level of spells continued to rise, the requirements for fusion became increasingly high, and Infinite Fusion itself had to improve to complete the fusion. Returning to his senses, Lin Moyu muttered to himself, next, it's time to fuse the true body of the Great Tao. Then the first one will be the undying Great Tao true body. In the small house, Lin Moyu transformed into a half-gray, half-white giant, one side representing death, the other representing life. Evolving the true body of the Great Tao with the Tao Sovereign First Realm, this had never happened in the history of the Origin Continent. Unknowingly, Lin Moyu once again created history. A Tao pattern flew out, merging with the true body of the Great Tao. The aura of the true body of the Great Tao suddenly strengthened, at least tripling in power. The amplification brought by 24 Tao patterns was astonishing. In that era, some ordinary Tao sovereigns, even at the 7th or 8th realm, only had a dozen or so Tao patterns. Lin Moyu, at the Tao Sovereign First Realm, had already condensed 24 Tao patterns, and it was not even the limit. No one would believe it if told. The true body of the great Tao smoothly merged with the Tao patterns, and in the future, using the Tao patterns to display the true body of the great Tao would be even stronger. Next, Lin Moyu would evolve the true bodies of the 6 great Taos and fuse them with the Tao patterns. After half a day, all 6 Tao patterns were fully integrated. At this moment, the advancement that had lasted for more than 100 years was finally completely over. Feeling the powerful strength brought by the Tao sovereign realm, he showed a satisfied expression. In the soul world, the summoning was still ongoing, and it would take some time to fill the vacancies. Pushing open the door, Lin Moyu walked out. The human emperor immediately said, "Congratulations to the realm master for achieving Tao sovereign." Lin Moyu smiled, "It's been over 100 years, has anything happened?" The human emperor replied, "Indeed, some things have happened." He recounted the 2 invasions by the Dragon Elephant clan, and after listening, Lin Moyu already knew what was going on. The second time the Dragon Elephant clan was inexplicably killed, it must have been done by Antares. Lin Moyu had a vague idea of how strong Antares was. Killing a few Tao sovereigns didn't require him to take action personally, just a wisp of consciousness was enough. Moreover, neither Thunder Light nor the human emperor had discovered him. If he didn't want to be known, it would be difficult for others to find out. Lin Moyu smiled, "Regarding this matter, I have a clear understanding, no need to worry." "How is Yudao City?" The human emperor said, "Yudao City is fine. Everyone knows the realm master is breaking through to Tao sovereign, and everyone is diligently cultivating." Lin Moyu took out a pile of things, including various treasures, materials, world tree fruits, spirit flowers, and some silver tree sap. "Take these things, add them to the inventory, and use them as rewards." The human emperor naturally didn't stand on ceremony and accepted them directly. Now, Yudao City was not yet fully on track, in a state of insufficient income, and Lin Moyu's things were very useful. Lin Moyu clapped his hands, "All right, I'll go check out the city." Using the original spirit vein for teleportation, Lin Moyu instantly appeared outside the city. Over the years, Yudao City had become increasingly magnificent, already showing the signs of a great city. Lin Moyu walked into the city, where millions of people lived. The streets were bustling, with people coming and going, and sometimes children could be seen running around. From everyone's expressions, it was clear that everyone was happy, obviously satisfied with their current living conditions. Under the management of the human emperor, everyone could gain fairness here. There would be no conflicts or disputes due to differences in cultivation levels. Anyone who dared to cause trouble in Yudao City was courting death. Lin Moyu walked down the street, unnoticed by anyone. Lin Moyu seemed to walk in another layer of space, arriving outside the house where Little Mist and Little Moon lived. The door was closed, with no one guarding it. Lin Moyu could sense the presence of Little Mist and Little Moon. Chapter 2896, 2896. Chapter 2896. Lin Moyu lectures, fragrance fills the city. In the courtyard, Xiaoyu was cultivating, while Xiaowu was playing with Xiaosun. Suddenly, Xiaowu stopped, looked up, and saw Lin Moyu had appeared in the courtyard. Xiaowu stared blankly at Lin Moyu, blinked twice, and then rushed over, clinging to Lin Moyu. She had previously said she disliked Lin Moyu, but her actions were honest. Xiaowu clung to Lin Moyu, "Stinky master, bad master, you haven't come to see me for so long." Lin Moyu smiled, "Has it been long? Compared to before, it hasn't been that long, right? Back then, when I went to the Boundary Sea, for the Great World, it was thousands of years in the blink of an eye. Now, it's only been a short while." Xiaowu wasn't listening to Lin Moyu's explanation. "I don't care, it's been a long time anyway." Her voice was a bit choked, clearly unhappy. Lin Moyu gently patted Xiaowu's back to comfort her. All right, I'm back now." Xiaoyu also awoke from her cultivation, immediately stood up, and ran to Lin Moyu, respectfully saluting, "Congratulations, master, on breaking through to the Tao sovereign realm." After many years, Xiaoyu had become mature and gentle. She had transformed from a little girl into a rare beauty. Her cultivation had reached the God sovereign realm, not far from the other shore realm. It was evident that Xiaoyu was diligent in her cultivation and hadn't been lazy. Lin Moyu had already learned about Xiaoyu's cultivation from the human emperor. Xiaoyu, with her innate jade soul, faced no bottlenecks in cultivation, always progressing smoothly. In just a few hundred years, she was close to reaching the other shore, a cultivation speed not much different from Lin Moyu's back in the day. Lin Moyu smiled. Xiaoyu is very diligent, her cultivation speed is quite fast. Xiaoyu said, Xiaoyu's achievements today are all thanks to Master. Lin Moyu shook his head, I feel a bit guilty as your master. We've been apart more than together over the years, and I haven't been able to teach you much. Xiaoyu shook her head, Master led me to the door, cultivation is personal, Master has already given Xiaoyu so much. Xiaoyu's understanding was extraordinary, and Lin Moyu couldn't help but sigh that he was indeed an unqualified master. Lin Moyu said, in the coming period, I plan to give you a good lecture on the Tao. Xiaoyu's eyes lit up, and she exclaimed happily, thank you, Master. Xiaoyu, with her innate jade soul, grasped the path of cultivation instantly. She had already understood all ordinary cultivation methods, and as Lin Moyu's disciple, the human emperor's cultivation resources were unconditionally open to her. Lin Moyu had instructed that Xiaoyu should not be restricted in information. On the contrary, she should know every stage of cultivation, and she would adjust herself. This was the benefit of an innate jade soul, with comprehension far beyond ordinary people. Lin Moyu intended to teach Xiaoyu the true great Tao, his understanding of the Tao, not just one specific Tao. Ultimately, which Tao Xiaoyu would comprehend and what path she would take, Lin Moyu wouldn't interfere. Additionally, he would teach Xiaoyu the Tao of the heavenly thunder Taoist, including the Tao of formations within it. This was something Lin Moyu had promised the heavenly thunder Taoist. He hoped Xiaoyu could inherit his Tao. Xiaoyu suddenly raised her head, Master, I want to listen too. Lin Moyu chuckled, did I ever say you couldn't listen? His gaze swept over, seeing Xiaosun nearby. Xiaosun obediently lay there, its mouse eyes looking at Lin Moyu, with a flattering gleam. Lin Moyu understood Xiaosun's meaning, you've done well over the years. Over the years, Xiaosun had found a source spirit vein outside. That source spirit vein had just formed, likely at the 5th level, and Xiaosun had stumbled upon it. Then Xiaosun used its talent to refine and bring back the source spirit vein, feeding it to the source spirit vein of Yudao City. This increased Yudao City's source spirit vein by 30%. If a few more could be fed, Yudao City's source spirit vein might advance to the 8th level. Refining the source spirit vein was Xiaosun's talent, but each time it refined, it paid a price. After this refinement, it took Xiaosun a long time to barely recover. Lin Moyu said, next time you find a source spirit vein, keep 10% for yourself. As he spoke, he waved and sent a ball of life force into Xiaosun. The life force carried abundant vitality, helping Xiaosun recover quickly. Hearing this, Xiaosun's eyes lit up, bowing repeatedly in thanks, thank you, Master. Xiaosun will definitely work hard to find source spirit veins. Lin Moyu thought for a moment and threw 2 spirit flowers to Xiaosun, along with a bottle of silver tree sap. A bottle of silver tree sap contained about 1,000 drops, enough for a while. Spirit flowers are for saving your life. If you're injured, you can use them to heal. Drink 1 drop of tree sap daily, refine it well, it can speed up your cultivation. Xiaosun happily put them away, knowing that anything Lin Moyu took out was surely good. Lin Moyu took out 2 more bottles of silver tree sap for Xiaoyu and Xiaowu, you too, take 1 drop daily while I lecture. Xiaoyu happily accepted, thank you, Master. Xiaowu accepted the silver tree sap but clearly didn't want to come down yet. She hadn't hung on for so long and wanted to hang a bit longer. Moments later, Lin Moyu sat cross-legged and began to lecture. Xiaoyu and Xiaowu listened intently, even Xiaosun, at the Tao Sovereign Third Realm, listened seriously. Others' lectures he could ignore, but Lin Moyu was different. He felt that Lin Moyu's teachings were useful to him. Spirit beasts typically rely on bloodline talent for cultivation and rarely listen to lectures. Lin Moyu spoke with golden lotuses flowing from his mouth, each word a profound truth of the Tao. Initially hard to understand, mysterious and obscure, but upon careful listening, they were profound truths of the Tao. The power of the great Tao surged, the source spirit vein hummed, resonating with Lin Moyu's voice. In the small courtyard, the power of the great Tao became extremely dense. Golden flowers appeared on the ground, filling the entire courtyard with fragrance. The fragrance wafted out of the courtyard, gradually filling the entire Yudao City. Everyone in Yudao City smelled the fragrance, each showing surprise. What a wonderful fragrance, what flower smells so good? This fragrance is strange. After smelling it, my cultivation realm is about to break through. Quick, find out where the fragrance is coming from. If smelling it has this effect, imagine obtaining the flower. Many began searching for the source of the fragrance, but it spread throughout the city, the same in every corner, impossible to locate. After several days, people finally gave up searching. In the following period, Yudao City remained enveloped in fragrance, and many cultivators who were stuck in bottlenecks broke through during this time. People often sat down suddenly and began to break through while walking. In the city, only a few knew the source of the fragrance. Hao Shinzun and others wanted to listen to Lin Moyu's lecture, but unfortunately, this lecture was specifically for Xiaoyu, and others had no chance to hear it. Above the boundary sea where East Continent and North Continent meet, a small, transparent, and adorable beast was flying rapidly. Its flying speed was fast, already reaching the Dao Sovereign Realm. However, the aura it emitted was very weak, not even reaching the Supreme Realm. Its eyes were determined, flying quickly towards East Continent. Chapter 2897, 2897. Catastrophe Chapter 2897 I Can Kill You. Lin Moyu lectured Xiaoyu and Xiaowu on the Tao for several decades. During the lecture, Lin Moyu multitasked, simultaneously condensing Tao patterns and studying formations. Multitasking had become a habit for Lin Moyu, posing no pressure. He was doing 3 things at once, without interference. Xiaoyu was deeply engrossed in the lecture, and although Lin Moyu wasn't teaching cultivation methods, it greatly benefited her. In just a few decades, Xiaoyu's cultivation level soared, progressing daily. She was nearing the peak of the God Sovereign Realm, just a step away from the other shore realm. Xiaowu was initially attentive, but after a while, she started to lose focus. Cultivation wasn't something Xiaowu enjoyed, but with Xiaoyu and Xiaosun focused on the lecture, she had no one to play with. She could only entertain herself, alternating between play and listening. As a spirit weapon, Xiaowu had heard countless lectures over the years, and this accumulation became her asset. Even without paying much attention, Xiaowu's cultivation level increased, an advantage of her unique nature. The condensation of the 25th Tao pattern was slow, taking Lin Moyu 80 years to complete. He then began condensing the 26th Tao pattern, even slower, likely taking over 100 years. Fortunately, time wasn't doubled. Advancing to the Tao Sovereign Realm greatly aided in condensing Tao patterns. In the 100th year of lecturing, Lin Moyu suddenly looked into the distance and stopped. Though he stopped lecturing, the Tao resonance lingered, and Xiaoyu and Xiaosun remained immersed. Only Xiaowu looked puzzled. Master, why did you stop? Lin Moyu said, Xiaoyu is close to the other shore realm. This lecture is sufficient, more wouldn't be beneficial. Xiaowu responded, so, will you help Xiaoyu cross to the other shore? Let Xiaoyu comprehend it herself. Crossing to the other shore is best understood personally. As Lin Moyu spoke, his gaze remained fixed on the distance, his brows slightly furrowed. Xiaowu noticed Lin Moyu's unusual demeanor. Master, is something wrong? Lin Moyu nodded, indeed, something's up. Stay with Xiaoyu, I need to handle it. Xiaowu replied, come back soon. Lin Moyu acknowledged and disappeared instantly, using the origin spirit vein to teleport away. He teleported tens of thousands of kilometers, then spread his undead wings and flew rapidly forward. Lin Moyu's gaze was fixed ahead, seeing a line of causality extending from afar, entwining him. A line of causality? Why is there a line of causality on me? Puzzled, Lin Moyu knew causality lines didn't appear easily. Their appearance meant significant connection. He couldn't figure out who was on the other end, so he decided to investigate. If it was an enemy, he wouldn't let it affect Yudao City. If a battle was necessary, it would be resolved outside. As he flew, Lin Moyu's brow furrowed, sensing a peculiar aura. The aura was special yet familiar. After a moment's thought, Lin Moyu realized, Soul Spirit Ancestor Beast. The beast that once called him, Father, in the Soul Spirit Realm's ruins. Lin Moyu accelerated, crossing tens of thousands of miles, finally reaching the end of the causality line. A strong great Tao force greeted him. Someone was fighting, and they were all Tao sovereigns. Seeing the situation, Lin Moyu found it chaotic. Humans, demons, and insects. 3 parties were engaged in a fierce melee. In the center, the Soul Spirit Ancestor Beast was trembling. Lin Moyu immediately recognized the soul spirit ancestor beast as the one that called him father years ago. Though it had grown, Lin Moyu couldn't mistake it. Because he had caused its birth, it called him father, creating an unbreakable bond. Back then, he thought that if he reached the origin continent, it might guide him. But things changed, and he never saw it again. Soul spirit ancestor beasts were unique, belonging to the spirit food category, typically residing in the North Continent, never seen in the East Continent. Its presence in the East Continent was strange. Lin Moyu's heart trembled. Could it be looking for me? Recalling the soul spirit ancestor beast's traits, Lin Moyu thought it possible. Soul spirit ancestor beasts were special, existing between reality and illusion, with two innate abilities. One was soul power, similar to the soul great Tao, possessed by most soul spirit ancestor beasts. The other was causality power, rare among them, activated under specific conditions. All races coveted soul spirit ancestor beasts for their causality power. They hunted them, seeking traces of the causality great Tao in their bloodline. The causality great Tao, an illusory and powerful Tao, granted immense benefits once mastered. Thus, life for soul spirit ancestor beasts in the North Continent wasn't easy, often hunted. With this in mind, the situation became clear. The soul spirit ancestor beast sensed him and came from the North Continent to find him. It was discovered by demons, humans, and insects, sparking a battle as all three wanted to capture it. This explained why the battle didn't affect the soul spirit ancestor beast. Its aura was weak, clearly injured, and Lin Moyu sensed it had reached the Tao sovereign realm. Soul spirit ancestor beasts weren't known for combat, clearly outmatched by these opponents. But it wasn't in danger they wanted to capture, not kill it. Lin Moyu flew closer, and the soul spirit ancestor beast sensed his aura, looking his way. Seeing Lin Moyu, it let out a weak cry, "Father." The cry was tinged with joy. Seeing Lin Moyu, the soul spirit ancestor beast was visibly happy. Its voice reached Lin Moyu's ears, and he sighed, "You've been through a lot." Those present had noticed Lin Moyu long ago, but as a Tao sovereign first realm, he didn't warrant their attention. Among the 6 demon Tao sovereigns, 3 were third realm, and 2 were second realm. The humans had 7 Tao sovereigns, 4 third realm, and 3 second realm. The insects had 2 insect mothers, both third realm, in battle form, extremely powerful. Each insect mother could fight multiple Tao sovereigns of the same realm without falling behind. The 3 parties were locked in a chaotic battle, unwilling to yield. The soul spirit ancestor beast's cry of "Father" left the 3 parties momentarily stunned. The cry was directed at Lin Moyu. A soul spirit ancestor beast calling a human "Father" was an odd sight. Lin Moyu flew over, becoming a 4th party, smiling, "Everyone, this little beast is mine. Can you let it go?" The human and demon Tao sovereigns wore strange expressions. Though they said nothing, it was clear they wouldn't let it go. An insect mother screeched, its piercing cry turning into a voice, "Why should we?" Lin Moyu sighed, "Because I can kill you." Chapter 2898, 2898. Chapter 2898. We are all human, we should help each other. The insect mother let out a sharp laugh, more piercing than before. A human Tao sovereign first realm guy claimed he could kill her. The insect mother's ultimate battle form was considered invincible among the same realm, only the dragon race could contend with it. Not only was the insect mother laughing, but the demon race was also laughing, and the human Tao sovereigns looked at Lin Moyu with strange expressions, clearly speechless. Before the insect mother could finish laughing, Lin Moyu casually pointed. There was no smoke or fire, no surge of the great Tao. The space where the insect mother was located twisted, and the bone hell suddenly appeared, enveloping the 2 insect mothers. The insect mothers reacted quickly, sensing danger, they screamed and attacked, trying to tear apart the bone hell and escape. But it was too late. Although their combat power was strong and invincible in the same realm, tearing apart the bone hell was still as difficult as ascending to heaven. The eye of hell opened, and a vast soul impact swept over the 2 insect mothers. Although it couldn't truly injure them, it was enough to make them feel soul pain. The insect mothers let out piercing screams, resisting the soul agony. Boom! Lava erupted, shooting into the sky like a fountain, trying to engulf the 2 insect mothers in the lava river. The insect mothers struggled madly, bursting out of the lava. Their strength was immense, their limbs like blades, cutting through the lava. The otherworldly flower swayed, scattering purple brilliance, greatly weakening the aura. Countless hellish fiends rushed out from the lava river, pouncing on the insect mothers. The insect mothers swung their sharp blades, slicing all the approaching hellish fiends. But the hellish fiends were not afraid of injury, nor of being slain, they madly swarmed from all directions. The insect mothers screamed continuously, frantically repelling the hellish fiends. The underworld black pool let out a loud noise, and the emerging underworld dragon opened its mouth to suck. The insect mothers were uncontrollably drawn towards it. They tried to resist the suction, but the hellish fiends pounced on them, biting down. With a single bite, the insect mother's carapace shattered, a piece of flesh torn away. The insect mothers screamed continuously, unleashing immense power to repel the hellish fiends. But then, the suction of the underworld black dragon intensified, and they were sucked into its mouth. Crunch! A teeth-gritting sound echoed, and the insect mother was directly bitten to pieces by the black dragon. The insect mother's carapace was very sturdy, but it couldn't withstand a bite from the black dragon. The black dragon had the same attributes as the hellish fiends, eating anything, biting anything. Although the insect mother was bitten to pieces, she wasn't dead, still screaming incessantly in the black dragon's mouth. She struggled madly, but to no avail, unable to escape. Crunch, crunch. After 2 or 3 bites, the insect mother was completely crushed and died. The entire process was extremely painful and tragic for the insect mother. The other insect mother, after a struggle, was finally surrounded by hellish fiends and dragged into the lava river. She floated and sank in the river, screaming incessantly, but she too couldn't escape her destined fate. She suffered more than her companion, each bite from the hellish fiends brought her immense pain. Thus, she was torn apart by the hellish fiends. The demon and human Tao sovereigns watched with their hair standing on end, a chill running down their spines, feeling indescribable. Lin Moyu smiled slightly. So, do any of you still want to compete with me? The demon Tao sovereigns looked conflicted, exchanged glances, and whispered, let's go. The Tao sovereigns turned and left without hesitation. Lin Moyu's ability to easily kill 2 insect mothers meant his combat power surpassed theirs, and with human Tao sovereigns present, staying would only lead to their own deaths. The demon Tao sovereigns weren't fools. During the 3-way melee, there might have been a chance. But now, the once dominant insect race was wiped out in a few moves, so what's the point of fighting? They didn't know when the human race produced such a monstrously powerful Tao sovereign, only at the Tao sovereign first realm, killing insect mothers as easily as cutting vegetables. The demon race left decisively and quickly, disappearing in an instant. The human Tao sovereigns didn't pursue. It's hard to catch a fleeing Tao sovereign. Lin Moyu had the ability to keep them all, but there was no need. In other words, he was too lazy to kill. Lin Moyu approached the soul spirit ancestor beast, which affectionately rubbed against him. This creature was 3 meters tall, its head alone as big as half of Lin Moyu. Now, lowering its head to nuzzle him, it seemed so soft and cute. Lin Moyu's first thought was that Xiaoyu and Xiaowu would definitely like this guy. Father. The soul spirit ancestor beast called softly, its voice gentle, even pleasant. Lin Moyu took out a spirit flower. Don't move, let me heal you. Although his power of life could also heal, it wasn't as effective as the spirit flower. And he could see that the soul spirit ancestor beast was indeed badly injured, its soul also hurt, and it had been some time, so healing with the power of life would take effort. The spirit flower bloomed, enveloping the soul spirit ancestor beast. Lin Moyu then looked at the human Tao sovereigns. Fellow Taoists, there's no problem with me taking this soul spirit ancestor beast, right? How could there be a problem? Someone who could wipe out 2 Tao sovereign 3rd realm insect mothers with a wave of a hand wasn't someone they wanted to provoke. Even if they could win, it would likely cost lives, and none of them wanted to die. The soul spirit ancestor beast was good, but you need to be alive to enjoy it. Moreover, no one could guarantee that obtaining the soul spirit ancestor beast would lead to comprehending the causality great Tao. Risking their lives for a mere possibility, these Tao sovereigns weren't foolish. They all had similar thoughts, immediately putting on smiles. No problem, since the soul spirit ancestor beast belongs to you, you should take it. Lin Moyu nodded and smiled. Thank you, fellow Taoists. They immediately replied, you're welcome, you're welcome. We're all human, we should help each other. Lin Moyu nodded. Here are a few leaves as compensation from me. Lin Moyu gave them a few world tree leaves, and they recognized them at a glance as excellent crafting materials. Containing the power of the great Tao, they were Tao sovereign realm materials, quite valuable. Although they lost the soul spirit ancestor beast, this gain wasn't bad. One Tao sovereign smiled, Lin Taoist is truly generous. We're from the Luo family in Tianning City, South Continent. If you have time, please visit us. Our peach blossom wine is quite good. Lin Moyu said, sure, I'll visit when I have the chance. As he spoke, Lin Moyu suddenly turned his head, looking to the other side, and said lightly, the demon race is still unwilling to give up. They were slightly stunned, not knowing what Lin Moyu was talking about. A few seconds later, they suddenly sensed a powerful aura shooting from afar. Dark clouds gathered in the distance, the great Tao faintly visible, 10 giant pythons carrying clouds and wind howling towards them. The faces of the Luo family's Tao sovereigns changed, a true body of the great Tao, at least a Tao sovereign 4th realm expert. Lin Moyu shook his head, it's a Tao sovereign 5th realm. The space beside him twisted slightly, and the giant sword Tao sovereign appeared, also manifesting a true body of the great Tao, transforming into a giant sword and flying out. The giant sword Tao sovereign moved swiftly, killing in an instant, giving the demon Tao sovereign no chance to retaliate. In a flash, the giant sword Tao sovereign returned, the dark clouds dispersed, and a giant python's body fell from the sky. Chapter 2899, 2899. Chapter 2899. Xiao Wu's talent, the fruit planted. The sudden appearance of the giant sword Tao sovereign was unexpected. The Tao sovereigns from the Luo family were relieved, grateful they hadn't acted, or they would have been dead. Who knows how this terrifying Tao sovereign 6th realm appeared, but he did. After killing the demon Tao sovereign, the giant sword Tao sovereign quickly returned, standing silently behind Lin Moyu, like a servant. The Luo family couldn't help but speculate about Lin Moyu's identity, wondering what kind of person could have a Tao sovereign 6th realm as a servant. Lin Moyu's gaze was gentle, fellow Taoists, do you have any other business? The group understood that Lin Moyu was issuing a polite dismissal, so they quickly bid farewell and left without hesitation. Lin Moyu didn't watch them leave but looked further away. Thousands of kilometers away, several demon Tao sovereigns were retreating. These were the same demon Tao sovereigns who had left earlier, but they hadn't truly departed. Now, seeing their own Tao sovereign 5th realm expert being decisively killed, they were all shocked and fled. Lin Moyu couldn't be bothered with them if they dared to come, he would kill them one by one. The spirit flower was healing the soul spirit ancestor beast, and as the flower shrank, the beast's aura quickly stabilized, likely to recover soon. After half a day, the spirit flower vanished, and the soul spirit ancestor beast was fully healed. Father! The soul spirit ancestor beast joyfully exclaimed, rubbing its big head against Lin Moyu, like a spiritual beast version of a kitten. Lin Moyu patted its head, how did you get here? The soul spirit ancestor beast was at the Tao sovereign 1st realm, not weak, but its racial traits meant it wasn't strong in combat. The Tao sovereign 1st realm allowed it to cross the boundary sea, but it was still dangerous. The soul spirit ancestor beast's voice was soft and cute, I sensed father's aura, so I came. Lin Moyu asked, you encountered many dangers on the way, right? The soul spirit ancestor beast replied firmly, there were dangers, but it didn't matter. I was sure I could see father. Once I saw father, there'd be no more danger. Lin Moyu asked curiously, why are you so sure? The soul spirit ancestor beast said, my bloodline ability told me I would definitely see father, and there would be no trouble. Lin Moyu pondered and smiled slightly, let's go home first, and you can tell me everything that happened on your way back to the North Continent. Hearing the word, home, the soul spirit ancestor beast's eyes lit up, okay, let's go home. The man and the beast flew towards Yudao City, not too fast, and along the way, the soul spirit ancestor beast recounted its experiences. The soul spirit ancestor beast is a unique spiritual beast, peculiar in its bloodline, heritage, and racial structure. There aren't many soul spirit ancestor beasts, with fewer than 1,000 in the North Continent. These 1,000 soul spirit ancestor beasts are divided into over 100 small tribes, each with no more than 10, and some as few as 3 or 4. This soul spirit ancestor beast's name is Soul 5, also known as Xiao Wu. It's the smallest in its tribe, which has only 5 soul spirit ancestor beasts. Xiao Wu was once a totem of a boundary sea world, also called the soul spirit realm. Later, the soul spirit realm engaged in a world battle with the great world and was destroyed. At the last moment, Xiao Wu was summoned into the soul spirit realm. The soul spirit realm couldn't escape destruction, but because of Xiao Wu, a fragment of space remained. Xiao Wu also left behind a remnant soul. Before dying, Xiao Wu used its bloodline power to plant a fruit. Lin Moyu later entered the soul spirit realm, becoming the cause of Xiao Wu's planted fruit. Xiao Wu was resurrected and returned to the North Continent. The price was losing its previous memories and seeing Lin Moyu as its father. This is the causality Great Tao, quite unreasonable. The most terrifying aspect of the causality Great Tao is not knowing cause and effect but planting a fruit that inevitably leads to a cause. The planted fruit will inevitably come true, and the cause becomes a price. Xiao Wu's price was losing its memory and gaining a human father. After returning to the North Continent, Xiao Wu also returned to its tribe. Its power quickly recovered, soon becoming a Tao sovereign again. Xiao Wu was originally a Tao sovereign, but its power was suppressed when it descended into the soul spirit realm. This time, Lin Moyu's advancement to Tao sovereign resonated with the Great Tao, allowing Xiao Wu to sense Lin Moyu's location and rush over. On the way, Xiao Wu indeed faced many hardships. While crossing the boundary sea, it was hunted by some sea tribes. Fortunately, it had planted a fruit before setting out, ensuring it would see Lin Moyu, so it ignored everything else, charging forward regardless of who tried to kill it. It suffered serious injuries but eventually reached the North Continent. Then it was targeted by the demon race, and the human race discovered it, leading to a battle as Xiao Wu continued its journey. Until the insect race arrived, Xiao Wu was surrounded by 3 parties with nowhere to go. But it was unafraid, sensing Lin Moyu, knowing its planted fruit had come true. This causal journey's final fruit was meeting Lin Moyu, with the soul injury and severe wounds as the cause. If Lin Moyu had no means to heal it, the soul injury would be difficult to treat. If not handled well, its realm could fall. After hearing all this, Lin Moyu patted Xiao Wu's head. "You're quite daring." Xiao Wu shook its head. "Daring doesn't matter as long as I see father." Lin Moyu asked, "If you saw me and I couldn't heal you, would you plant another fruit?" Xiao Wu said, "Fruits can't be planted randomly. My bloodline ability is limited, and not every fruit can succeed. I can only plant 1 fruit every 100 years. Lin Moyu asked, "What are the specific limitations?" Xiao Wu shook its head. "I don't know. Only when planting a fruit will I know if it works. If the fruit exceeds my ability too much, it won't succeed, and we'll suffer backlash." That makes sense. There must be limitations, or the causality Great Tao would be too domineering. Fruits can't be planted randomly. Exceeding one's ability leads to backlash. Xiao Wu can only plant 1 fruit every 100 years, regardless of success, and must wait another 100 years. There's another limitation. If the fruit is too distant, it can't plant a new one until the causal chain is complete. Only after a causal chain ends and 100 years pass can a new one be planted. There are many limitations, which Lin Moyu understands. Though soul spirit ancestor beasts have the causality Great Tao talent, they only know how to use it, not the underlying reasons, which is a limitation of spiritual beasts. The Great Tao is fair, giving spiritual beasts enough talent but preventing them from enhancing it. Talent is both an advantage and a disadvantage. Chapter 2900. 2900. Chapter 2900. Fortunately, I didn't ride Xiao Wu back. Yudao City was in sight, and Lin Moyu released a surge of Great Tao power, which landed on the Soul Spirit Ancestor Beast. The Soul Spirit Ancestor Beast did not resist at all, having no guard against Lin Moyu, who it saw as the closest person. This was the result of a cause planted long ago. The power of the Great Tao gave it this idea from the deepest part of its soul. The Soul Spirit Ancestor Beast was enveloped by an invisible force, following Lin Moyu into Yudao City. In Yudao City, people came and went, but no one noticed them. Except for the human emperor, no one knew Lin Moyu had returned. It wasn't until Lin Moyu returned to his courtyard that he revealed himself. "Wow, Master is back." Xiao Wu was about to pounce as usual when she suddenly saw the Soul Spirit Ancestor Beast beside Lin Moyu. The white, misty, and cute Xiao Wu immediately caught Xiao Wu's eye. Without thinking, Xiao Wu abandoned the old for the new and pounced on Xiao Wu. "What a cute beast," Xiao Wu exclaimed, hugging Xiao Wu tightly. The Soul Spirit Ancestor Beast was 3 meters tall, and Xiao Wu looked petite and delicate clinging to it. Lin Moyu had already told Xiao Wu about the madwoman Xiao Wu, so Xiao Wu wasn't alarmed and let Xiao Wu hug her. Xiao Yu smiled sweetly at Lin Moyu. "Master, you're back. I'll make tea for you." Obedient Xiaoyu was a stark contrast to the madwoman Xiaowu. Xiaoyu quickly made tea, constantly absorbing and digesting the Dao Lin Moyu had taught. She was not far from the other shore realm, needing just a little more to reach it. After making tea and letting Lin Moyu sit down, Xiaoyu asked, "Master, who is this?" Lin Moyu replied, "This is Xiao Wu." Xiaoyu acknowledged and turned to greet Xiao Wu, "So you're Xiao Wu." "Hello, I'm Xiaoyu." Xiao stood by, staring at Xiao Wu without blinking, muttering, "Isn't this the soul spirit ancestor beast? Such a rare soul spirit ancestor beast following master back, my master is truly amazing." Through its bloodline heritage, it recognized Xiao Wu's true identity. Soul spirit ancestor beasts are extremely rare, and once they appear, countless people rush to capture them. But Lin Moyu didn't need to capture it, it followed him directly. Xiao Wu continued to cling to Xiao Wu, jumping up and down, happily exclaiming, "So you're Xiao Wu. I'm Xiao Wu. You can call me miss. If anyone bullies you, just say my name, and I'll avenge you." Lin Moyu laughed, "With your level of punching babies and kicking grandmothers, don't say that out loud." Xiao Wu protested, "Master, you're undermining me." Lin Moyu said, "I'm just telling the truth. A peak heavenly sovereign with combat skills probably not even matching an ordinary heavenly sovereign, it's embarrassing." Xiao Wu stuck out her tongue at Lin Moyu, indicating she wouldn't pay attention to him. Xiao Wu suddenly spoke, her voice still soft and cute, "Father, I want to change my appearance." Lin Moyu nodded, "Go ahead." Xiao Wu agreed, and the mist around her began to change. Gradually, she became shorter, eventually becoming as tall as Xiaoyu. The mist gained color, turning into a pink long dress. When the mist completely dissipated, Xiao Wu's true form was revealed. Lin Moyu's hand holding the teacup paused, "Xiao Wu, you're a girl." Xiao Wu nodded, "I was originally a girl." Lin Moyu's mouth twitched, he never expected Xiao Wu to be a girl, no wonder her voice was so soft and cute. Fortunately, he hadn't ridden Xiao Wu back earlier. Knowing Xiao Wu was a girl, Xiao Wu became even more excited. "Wow, Xiao Wu is so pretty." She seemed ready to kiss her at any moment. Xiao Wu's voice was soft, filled with a smile, "Sister Xiao Wu is the pretty one." Lin Moyu asked, "Xiao Wu, now that you're here, what do you plan to do?" Xiao Wu shook her head, indicating uncertainty, "I just want to be with father, haven't thought about anything else." Lin Moyu said, "All right, then stay with Xiao Wu and the others. Let Xiao Wu show you around Yudao City, and live here from now on." Xiao Wu was obedient and had no objections. Xiao Wu grabbed Xiao Wu with one hand and Xiaoyu with the other, "Let's go play outside." No matter when, the word, play, was always on Xiao Wu's lips. Lin Moyu also smiled, "Go play, get used to it." With Lin Moyu's permission, Xiao Wu left with Xiao Wu and Xiaoyu. Although Xiao Wu seemed a bit naive, she was much more stable than Xiao Wu. It was clear that Xiao Wu was a bit cautious and delicate. Wherever she appeared, people treated her as a treasure, not a cherished treasure, but a valuable one. Everyone wanted to study her, to gain the causality great Tao through her bloodline. But Lin Moyu had no such thoughts. Not only Lin Moyu, but Xiaoyu and Xiao Wu were also full of goodwill towards her. Xiao Wu introduced Yudao City to Xiao Wu along the way, letting her know that Yudao City was Lin Moyu's city, and Lin Moyu was its master. After they left, Xiaosun finally spoke, "Master, that's a soul spirit ancestor beast." Lin Moyu nodded, "Yes, it is. Soul spirit ancestor beast, countless people want it, and Master got it." Xiaosun marveled, finding it incredible. Lin Moyu glanced at it, "Aren't you the same? Countless people want you, to study your bloodline." Xiaosun chuckled, "That's why Master is the best." Lin Moyu said, "Xiao Wu calls me father, so I'll treat her as my daughter. You're not allowed to bully her." Xiaosun quickly shook its head, "I wouldn't dare. If I bullied Xiao Wu, Xiaoyu and Xiao Wu wouldn't let me off." Lin Moyu smiled, "Honestly, I'm not interested in Xiao Wu's bloodline, but I am interested in the causality great Tao." Xiaosun said, "The causality great Tao is mysterious. Countless people want to comprehend it but can't find the way. In my bloodline memory, no one has ever comprehended the causality great Tao." Lin Moyu was taken aback, "No one?" Xiaosun nodded, "That's right, no one." Xiaosun's bloodline was ancient, and if even its bloodline had no record, then perhaps no one really had. Lin Moyu thought of something, taking out a gourd, the causality gourd. The causality gourd was a treasure of the causality Great Tao. If no one had comprehended the causality Great Tao, how could this treasure exist? It could only mean that someone in the great world had once comprehended the causality Great Tao, which should have been called the causality law at the time. Even in the origin continent, where few could comprehend the causality Great Tao, someone in the great world could. This indicated that the great world had extraordinary depth. Tracing back, the Sea of Worlds was collectively called the origin world, originating from an origin ancestral land, of which the great world was a part. Lin Moyu had seen many Sea of Worlds and personally destroyed and refined them, knowing that each world had great differences. Not in terms of level differences, but even at the same level, there were significant differences. The great world was very powerful among the Sea of Worlds of the same level. This showed that the great world was already very strong in the origin world state, with deep foundations. Lin Moyu didn't know how the origin world came to be, but he believed it had an origin and didn't come from nowhere. This question might only be understood when he entered that origin ancestral land.